how's it going, everybody? Let me sit down for a second. I just wanted to grab myself a bottle of water before we get the stream up and running. How's everybody doing, though? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you boys are having a wonderful, beautiful day. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, let me get the webcam all prepped up, and we'll get the stream up and running because today's, boys, it's going to be the 5V5 1v1 duels for the day. Ooh, isn't that so good? I'm excited, man. I'm so excited. Also, that last song we were playing just now, that was pretty good. You mind if I rewind it back a little bit before the guitar solo and play it again? I think it was kind of jazzy. I guess that wouldn't be the best word to use, jazzy, because there's literally zero jazz in this thing, but I liked it. It's snazzy. Snazzy. Let's go with that word. Snazzy. Alright, EU. Hopefully all you EU boys are logging in right now and getting groups together. Well, I'll take a breather real quick. Now, what's happening, bro? Taco, how's it going? Quest, hope you're having a good one. We're having some 5V5 1v1 duels for the day, boys. Go for it. Give us more blood in the arena. Let's go, boys. Let's go. His mustache hype was right, yo, boys. Making me blush. Yeah, what's good, man? What's up, Strife? We got ourselves Quest. We got ourselves Zachary, Thomas, Rive, Zippy, Puma, Brad. We also got ourselves Will Gonzalez. I do, my man. Best program mobile. Oh, my God. You're so nice. You guys are so nice, honestly. Alrighty. Now the whistle is wet. Gotta wet the whistle first. Dal, I'm gonna send you my new look. You mean like a mog or something? Go for it, my dude. Discord, dude, down below. You guys are more than welcome to it. Alrighty. Logging on EU right now, boys. We're gonna get some duels up and running. EU, hopefully you guys were ready, man. This is gonna be the last duels of 825. The next week is gonna be some 8-3 stuff, man. Can you blush, Dal? Like on command, like blush. I don't know. I could maybe like just like. I was trying to see if I could maybe make my body like heat up and make my cheeks rosy, but I couldn't quite do it. I'm logging on an A for some reason. Here we go. Now I'm logging on EU. Now we're good. Oh, now I'm airheaded. Okay, they're good. Got my glide. What's up, Fortune? How you doing, my man? You got your gladiator. Let's go, dude. Hoping to see you on your mountain then for the day, yeah? Oh, you got that mog? Let me show you. Let me show the stream, boys. Also, why does Discord show everything is this tiny of a pic? Oh, yeah, hold on. I can fix. I can actually fix. Hold on. I can open link, which is still blurry, but why is this so fucking blurry? Save image preview? Like, I want to get the original image, but that's more or less what the mog looks like. I don't know why my Discord is like that. But that's pretty cool. I like the shoulders. I like the big old staff thing in the back. That's pretty cool looking, my man. That's pretty cool looking. Alrighty, boys. Logging on the Bredo man, sir. Let me also get the mix up and... I was going to swap to the mix, and then YouTube was like, next song. Now we're set. Now we're set and beautiful. Why does the camera... Is it me or does this look... Oh no, the angle is fine. Feels like the angle maybe is a little close. I think that's the problem. I think that's the reason why the character felt so weird. Because the camera angle was so close. But usually zooms in into like first person either way. So it's not like it's going to matter. What's up, Chris? How you doing, fam? Hope you're having a good one. How's it going? See work? Hope you're having a good one, man. Cataclysm mod. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Wait, is that original Catacata or is that like a recolor from Islands? I'm not sure. It looked like, because I don't remember the Kato mogs for Warriors that well. I know there was like a dark, but then I guess there was maybe, is that the red? Or I think I just might be a recolor. But either way, it looks good. I like it. Ready 5 out of 5. Alex already with the group. Who else got a second group up and running? Hello, Dad. What's up, John? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Good transmog reduces DPS by 3%, 20 at least, dude. That confidence boost the transmogs give, dude, at the very least is 20%. Are you serious? Trust me, I'm a mathematician in WoW. I know I'm math, dude. I know my hot button uses triangles and shit like that, dude. That's from Kata. Oh, is it from Kata? Okay. Not Raven rarity as well? Okay, perfect. Invite spectator match. Add X and Night Raven. Also got Audacity rolling for the audio. This is going to be some of the last duels of 825, boys. They better be good. Give it your best shot in these, alright? Give it your best shot, man. Did we already have a bug? Did we already have a bug out on us? had to delist. Okay, there we go. It's gonna take a second or two for it to fucking work. Alrighty. We're gonna start off rough today. Oh, starting off rough. How beautiful you are. How beautiful you are. Wait, what? Let me read it again. How beautiful you are, buddy. Lots of love from Brazil. We're trying to keep the WoW alive here. What's up, Pedro? How you doing, my man? I hope you're having a good one, my dude. Hope you're having a good one, man. Glad you can come to the stream, my man. EU? It is EU, boys. Let's go. Alex, what? Hello? Where you from? From a house. I live in a house. This way? What do you mean? At Dalaran, this is the way? Oh my god. From the Mandalorian? Jesus, dude. This is the way. Switch. That was a good show. It only had 8 episodes. But so did Game of Thrones. So did not Game of Thrones. So did Witcher. Is that what's going to be a thing now? Only 8 episodes per season? That's so short. We got ourselves Team Canny on Team Alliance. He got himself the sheep transmog for the weapon. I wonder if... Does that sheep still transform into like an actual sheep head next to me polymorph people? We also got ourselves Chrysler coming back as a Destro. I haven't seen this ugly mug in a while. How you doing, you beautiful bastard? We got ourselves Fortune on his Gladiator mount. Earned it this season. We got Judah Master, you know, Blackout Mug. And we got Matsasao. I know this guy. That's a marksman hunter that plays a lot of MM and just goes for big one-shots. Wow, we got some big names in here. We got us Prox in the back, Christia, Shrepies. We got Wolf Boof Bark. Interesting. Boomkin! Oh my god, I was expecting a cat for a second. We got ourselves a Russian paladin. We'll figure out what that name says in a bit. Chrysler dropping down the big infernal onto Woof Boof Bark. Gonna be a little bit of a silence onto Chrysler on one of his casts. Actually, I think it was maybe Firecast or Chaos Bolts. Either way, and Woof Boof having to go for a Bardic right now, trying to sling out a couple of those Star Surges back to back into Chrysler, but a horror effect into another Chaos Bolt. Gonna drop him down super low. Chrysler looking to end him with a bit of a drain life, and Chrysler already comes in. Guns blazing, big infernal, popping out big Casbolts. The next up is going to be the Russian Tauren Paladin. Their name is Berushibik. I don't know what that means. Beru. We're going to call him Beru. How about I'm calling Beru? Beru going for a big old bubble in the opener. Chrysler trying to get his demonic way out. Get in with the Hodge, but he does pour it out of it, forcing Beru to go for his mount up. It's going to be quite a bit of damage from the Paladin either way. Chrysler is going to try to drop down the Cataclysm as the Paladin has nothing left to deal with the Destro War. Like, if Chrysler can somehow survive this, survive the onslaught by the Paladin, he might be able to send a Toto, get interrupted on Fear, and does get cleaved down with the Templar's Verdict, slashing him right in half. No bubble for Beru, however. That was all the Paladin burst. Chrysler just couldn't go anyway. If you only had a horror effect for this, that would have been great. He might have actually hit him with a horror while Bubble was up. Polymorph trying to come out onto Beru. He does hand a freedom out of there early. Does not want to mess around with the Arcane Mage. It's going to take him seriously. Beru is down on a Trinket, down on the Bubble. He has a limited amount of cooldowns that he can work with. Hodge on the Candy. Trying to get offensive is going to punish him with every single Hodge by going full wings. Trying to get as much resources available. Polymorph is still going to come out onto him. Does not transform the... It doesn't transform the staff. I think you actually have to have it as not a transmog, but like an actual artifact weapon to make it into a sheep head. Right? Or not? I was noticing that Candy was trying to palmer for a couple times. Maybe he was trying to get it to proc. Beru having to get some coverage behind the wall. Is trying to go for flashlight, expecting the mage to go for a blink. Almost actually stop his own cast halfway through. But Candy does get an interrupt on him, and it's going to use his blinks to keep Beru out in the open. He's in a bad spot. He needs to use Shield of Vengeance properly here. So he needs to figure out a perfect time for him to get some heals, perfect time to maybe juke out a kick out of Candy. He might need to actually go for those jukes and be that careful about it. Candy is just going to try to see if he can lure him out in the open. Tricky coming out of the Hodge. Beru's going to dip behind the pillar for a second. Maybe catch a heal or two. Could be a blink. No, it didn't go far enough. Candy, it's blink. Did not go as far as he needed. Hand of Freedom and Pony up coming for Beru as he's trying to reposition himself and is using Crucibles of Flame defensively to try to hold off for a little bit longer. 4 minutes left. 3 minutes now on his bubble. Actually, 4 going into 3. Is that actually? I think it is 3 minutes. So yeah, if he can live 3 more minutes, he'll have that bubble available as immunity to deal with Canny. And you might just need it, or you might just have to find a way to get some damage out. Canny will not have a trinket for quite a bit since he's a human racial last time, so he won't be able to have a normal trinket. If Beru can somehow get some resources going pre-execution sentence, so he can spend every global pumping damage into Canny, he might stand a chance. Might have to approach him. Doesn't really have a good position for the pillars. He's slowed out in the open. Canny's gonna go for some damage to zone. Beru is trying to get a setup. Gonna be be a short invis for Kenny with arcane missiles. Baru with a hand of freedom going to be able to run away. Kenny cannot spell steal the hand of freedom, as this is going to be one of those hand of freedoms that is honor talented, but Baru is super low on health. Having to go for a Hodge onto Kenny. Wings are up and running, trying to max out the damage here, and it's going to be able to get some damage. Short stun with a war stomp, but it's going to dip behind the pillar immediately. Might have to go for flash of light. Going to be Kenny trying to see if he can back blink and interrupt it. Not going to get it. Baru having to go for more line of sight. Actually still going to interrupt it with a blink. Silence. Kenny is going to keep him out in the open with a freeze. No hand of freedom available. Baru not looking all that good. Getting knocked up. Arcane missiles might just shred him enough. No, he does get those flash of lights empowered by the wings. But with the wings gone, all he needs to do right now is wait until bubble. That's all at this point. Shield of Vengeance is still available. He can still use Shield of Vengeance, Baru. That's the defensive you have not used at all this duel whatsoever. Kenny's having to go for a bit of a vacation. Baru tried to poke out and hit him with a couple of judgments. I don't know if that's a good idea. Baru might just need to sit back behind the pillow the whole game. Hodge onto Kenny, doesn't have an answer, is going to bring out the wings to see if he can punish Kenny for a little bit of damage. Kenny going to force Baru out in the open, actually back blinking as well, trying to go for a short invis to get around the guy. Baru is out up here on the bridge, trying to see if he can sling away a few nasty heals, just trying to get some secret heals out behind the pillar. But Kenny, it looks like Kenny does not have anything right now to push in. It looked like Kenny might be able to get back in. It was kind of hard to gauge whether Kenny had a lot of offensive potential or not. Kenny's actually going for food. It looks like maybe the mage is on the defensive. Maybe he's trying to give Baru a false insecurity. Shield of Vengeance finally coming out for Baru. Hoping to get that shield to pop next to Kenny. As he got some cooldowns rolling as well. Another blink coming out for Kenny. And Baru is going to go behind the pillar immediately. Kenny trying to go for as many instant casts as he can in order to maintain his own self-heal. Trying to get an interrupt into Baru. Looks like he tried to get a juke out. Looks like he actually got a proper juke so he can go for big heals. But Kenny got quite a bit of damage with those arcane missiles regardless. Baru is not really all that good anymore. More arcane missiles are flying with a trinket. The voodoo trinket coming from the underrod is going to apply a little bit extra dot pressure onto Baru as soon as it makes a connection. Did it actually connect? It looked like he sent it out, but I didn't ever see the effect. Maybe the effect still happened, but he just healed through it, which is a possibility. So honestly, Baru, you gotta look at this bubble, man. It's 5 seconds away from being able to use it. He actually did live it long enough for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, dueling Kenny just to get his bubble back. So you might actually be able to use that bubble to his advantage. Kenny, however, still has an incredible amount of mobility. Is Baru using actual wings, or is that middle long wings? If those are actual wings, he just might have to bubble and get in there, dude. He's just trying to wombo combo, but the bubble falling short. He can't actually push up to Kenny. How much he used the bubble in the time that he's given just to force out some flash of lights. Cannot go offensive with Kenny. The wings are going to last only so long. He's going to get a judgment on Kenny, but he actually cannot push up to the guy at all. Super unfortunate. Very unfortunate. 6 minutes in though, finally may be able to connect with Kenny. Gonna be a freeze coming out. Is that a hand of freedom? Yes, hand of freedom for Baru right now. Kenny is actually gonna be able to spell steal it. So wait, Baru actually had a hand of freedom the whole time that couldn't be spell stolen. Kenny just hasn't spell stolen it at all once. Maybe he was expecting for it to be one of those that couldn't be spell stolen. And Baru is gonna go down without a bubble. Down he goes. As soon as hand of freedom was gone, maybe next time Baru might wanna pop himself a little bit extra. Oh my god, this guy's a BM in it, dude. What is this BM? Oh my god. Kenny, why? Baru just want to join the duels, man. You don't need to take a picture with the guy. But anyway, it's going to be yet another Paladin. Christy is next versus Kenny as he's taking screenshots with everybody. Just taking screenshots with everybody, dude. Is that going to be like a montage of patch 8.5? All the screenshots and all the duels from his angle or something? Either way, we're going to see more or less similar gameplay, but hopefully the game won't last nearly as long, although it could. It is another Paladin. You got to give Baru credit for lasting as long as he did, but as soon as that bubble was gone, and Kenny knew, like, okay, there's no way the guy has a bubble again, I can just push up. Shield of Vengeance is not going to come out, most likely, because Baru just never really pressed that button for the most part. Hopefully Christy is a little bit better at it. Actually getting shredded right now while in the open. Might want to Shield of Vengeance here. Could get blinked on. Decided to go for bubble before he gets interrupted. Is trying to see if he can get some wings back into Kenny, who does go for an invis. Still going to be a trinket coming out for Christy from the Mecha Gun. Trying to max out the damage. I think that might have been blood of the enemy. Shield of Vengeance is up for Christy. Does he have the Hand of Freedom to follow up with Kenny? He does. Might be able to get that Shield of Vengeance to pop onto Kenny. Actually, that freeze, the Nova is going to lop him down. It's going to have those arcane missiles shredding through him. And on the other side of wings coming out, and Christy might just have to go go for a flash of light. Kenny maybe could blink around the corner. Does land the interrupt onto Christia, but he doesn't have the mobility to catch up to Kenny. Next Hammer of Justice might be able to do it for Christia, though. If he's able to survive long enough, needs to go for flashlights right now. Barely hanging in there with those flashlights. The next setup onto Kenny is going to force Ice Block for sure. But if Christia has himself Hand of Freedom and all the other CC, all the other capabilities, he might be just fine when dealing with Kenny. Might need to push up right now, though. This might be the perfect opportunity. He is going to go for a little bit of food. Mounts up instead. But Christie just cannot break through the Arcane Mage shield whatsoever. Hodge coming down. Might be Ice Block. And it is going to be Ice Block out of Kenny. Christie using Hand of Freedom to back up. That might have been the worst move. He's going to try to see if he can get a flash of light. Kenny's going to blink around him. Arcane missiles are still going to connect. And Christie is out in the open. Cannot do anything about this. Might be able to get some damage onto Kenny as he gets into the shield. And one last Arcane Barrage takes down Christie as Kenny is hanging out by the skin of his teeth, man. And Schweppes is going to be up next, landing that ranged interrupt onto Candy with a stun to follow. He's going to trick it out of it, landing a polymer for Schweppes. Either way, try to repoly in case it was going to be a trinket out of him, and Invis coming out for Candy to try to see if he can get away from everybody. Schweppes is going to be quite a challenge for Candy compared to this Paladins, man. The bubble was quite annoying to deal with. Hand of Freedom is quite difficult to match up against, but that AMS and the Army of the Dead that does so much damage on its own for Schweppes might just be good enough. It's gonna get a grip into Candy. Try to blink around the DK, but the army is still surrounding him. AMS coming out to protect the DK. Candy does not have a defensive, might just be going down here. Some Karks are starting to stack up. Even instant cast abilities are not gonna keep him afloat. It's gonna get himself a shield. Try to get a nowhere to Schweppes. He still had that AMS available, and Candy only is alive by the skin of his shield. That's a very skinny shield, however, not looking all that good. He's going to be able to blink away, trying to get some crucibles in order to get himself a self-heal, and yet another Invis coming out. Isn't going to be able to have a clean Invis, however. And I think that is a clean Invis. Trappy 7 to go pick up it up. The eyes, looks like he walked by the eyes, but didn't actually pick him up. Going for the second set of eyes right now. It's actually going to let him get picked up. Could send the pet at Kenny right now. Does he see where Kenny is at? Should be able to. He's going for a little bit of food. And Kenny does have one more Invis, so you might be able to get out of that. No, Invis breaking immediately. This is getting tripped into Polymer from the range interrupt by Schweppes. The Nova does come out with a grip to follow. Stun right after. No trick available. Kenny might just be going down here, trying to still land another Polymer for Schweppes, where the dots are going to be quite huge. No healing available unless he gets a crystal board now. He might be in a bad spot. Trying to instant cast as much as he can, but that pet comes down and sinks its claws right into the poor mage, with Judah Master going up next on Team Red. And Judah is feeling pretty confident against Schweppes. He's just trying to get in there. Schweppes, how you looking right now? You actually have all the defenses in the world. It's going to get the Abomination rolling. That's going to be Images and Fist of Fury for Judah, who's actually trying to peel out away from it. And before the grip comes out by the DK, Schweppes is going to have to wait and run over to Judo. The pets are going to take those sweet time, get over to Judo. But that Mages of the Dead is going to be able to blast him for a bit. Karma coming out for Judo Master. Schweppes is going to get a stunner to Judo, but those pets are a guaranteed damage that's going to be reflected back to Schweppes. That's just a bit of karma he's just going to have to deal with. Does drop the anti-magic zone. Huge karma defensive right here. Trick us out of that leg sweep. Trying to see if he can deal with a Fist of Fury, but that's going to be a Fist of Fury for Judo. So he's going to lock out Schweppes, and then he's going to separate themselves, both of them, with a Ring of Peace. So Schweppes either way cannot touch Judo. He can't, either he's going to get parried or he's going to get booped out of the way. So the DK is going to be a little bit behind on health for a little bit. If Judah can lock him down while his health is low, this might be the end game here. If he's able to get yet another Fist of Fury, Schweppes is going to walk away from it. Short stun onto the Monk for a second. Is going to get his fusion at 44% damp, but he got himself a little bit of healing. And AMS rolling just in case there's any extra damage out of Judo. But he's still in a critical condition. If he can somehow get himself another setup. If he had Death Pack right here, this would be a perfect time to use Death Pack. But Judo is just going to harass the guy until he has himself in a good situation, get himself all the chi rolling. Just needs one leg sweep, just needs one Fist of Fury. Going to be a stunner to Judo. Schweppes is going to get a little bit of healing off of it. Dragon Kick to Schweppes, and it's going to be more Chain of Ice trying to keep the Fist of Fury away, and Judo does end up killing the Schweppes DK. Prox is up next as the last man standing on Team Blue. Thorns are up. Judo is not going to hit him to those thorns. He doesn't have Karma for a few seconds. He's going to get a touch of death onto Prox, forcing out a trinket out of Prox as well. Karma is going to come out for those thorns if he wants to. Touch of death is going to hit Prox for quite a bit of damage. Karma to follow right after Prox dips pretty low, and Judo needs to be aggressive on him. Dragon Kick on top of the guy is going to slow him for a second. Prox is trying to see if he can make his way out of it. Does roll the underrun trinket, but at 50% dampening, how well is it going to work for you at all? It does get a reopen on Judo, forcing a human trinket out of him, trying to kill him with a couple bites. Vistafira locking down Prox for a second. Does get to leap away for a moment, but he's gonna get hamstrung there for a second and is gonna be able to take down Judo with a big old swipe at the end. Matasao up next is a Marksman Hunter main having to go versus Prox. Good chance that Prox is gonna go for a full reset. Matasao has an option. Either let Prox come out, let him honor duel, let him heal up to full, and then you can get the duel going, or pick up the eyes immediately, because otherwise this is going to take a while. If he is fine with the honor duel, like if he wants to go do something like go to the other side of the arena, come out of stealth, start RP walking, do a bit of bow to Prox, that will probably do it. It looks like Prox can somewhat see the guy, sorta. Is going to get caught out in the flare. Matasao should be able to get himself huge rapid fire damage. There's going to be quite a bit. Prox actually just might be almost dead just to that alone. Trying to go for as many defenses. Going to be Crucible right after. A couple arcades and the bash is not going to stop him at all. Oh my goodness. We got to give this Matasao guy another try, man. That's a Marksman Hunter main. We got to really give him a solid go from the very start. Let him play out all the duels at the very beginning, you know what I mean? But that was a good set of duels to start with, boys, yeah? I like it, at least. I like that. Have a party. We're ready? Alrighty, boys. Let's get another one going, yeah? Since we got more people coming up. Let's get a Night Raven. And I guess we'll get Captura in here. We'll get both of those going. What are we at? 19, 91, 92, 93, 94, 94, 94. Can we break 100 today, boys? Can we break 100 today on EU? Coming back, I DC'd. It's all good, Fortune. Don't worry about it, my man. It's all good. I'll wait for you a sec, man. Stream snipe as MM is normal. Stream snipe, yeah. I want to see how that guy plays, because I actually seen Matasao some of his videos on the channel. We're ready. No, one sec. Okay, gotcha. I actually seen some Matasao videos because I did a what is it? I looked up. I think I decided to play a Marksman Hunter just for funsies, because Baron on Discord showed me that Survival Hunter or Marksman Hunters can use Crucible while in camo, and you can also use Crucible on an enemy that is hit by Scattershot. So I thought that was very, very interesting that it functions that way. So I thought maybe I could do some memey things with the spec. But then after making the video on Marksman, I decided to kind of do more research on the Marksman, and I want to give a smallish guide on like how Marksman is played, which led me to the Hunter Discord, where I saw All Skills Up. I don't know what his character's name is, but on Twitch is All Skills. Or not, maybe All Skills Up or All Skills with a bunch of Z's. No, there's a bunch of Z's. But a guy, Marksman Hunter, plays Marksman at like Gladiator level. And then there was Matasao, was another guy that was recommended to me as well. And then I saw Matasao's couple of his videos on YouTube. And that's how I'm like, oh shit, I know this guy. Alright, we ready? We can get Laska. Get Night Raven. I really want to get Night Raven back because he got that Marksman Hunter. I really want to see that Marksman Hunter in action, but might just have to get Captura and Laska if Night Raven is still DC'd. Vital Warlock? What's up, man? Chrysler got a group? Yo, Chrysler, what's up, man? You want to give me one more? Alrighty. Night Raven, do you still have Matasao in your group or not? I want to keep whoever got Matasao, man. I want to see that guy, dude. That's a hard name to say like over and over. Matasao. Matty? Can I call him Matty? Make it easier. Howdy now, pals. What's up, Brad? I had him, man. So I'm kind of new. I was wondering if melee DPS is better in Mythic Plus Dungeons, while range DPS is better for raids. Generally, because melee DPS have a shorter kick. However, you can play range DPS and do fairly well in keys. Like Fire Mages are insane. Balance Druids are really good. Shadow Priest can also be really good, but melee, like having a couple of melee, depending on your composition too, right? Having at least like an Outlaw Rogue and a Restoration Druid is a minimum for like any composition, and you can kind of stack the rest of your group with whatever you want to. But maybe it might be even more open with the rest of the Druids getting quite a bit of nerf as a BIS healer for keys. Maybe it will be a Monk that would be really good. But like, you can have, it depends on your composition and what you pick up. Like, having not enough kicks for like a Shrine of the Storm dungeon is going to punish you. However, something like a Freehold, it's not nearly as bad. Hotel Dazar is not nearly as kick-heavy dungeon. You know what I mean? QS, you got the Hunter? I'm gonna see, because we got ourselves Captura, we got Laska, we got Chrysler, we got all the boys here with the groups up and running. Yeah, I do? Okay, cool. We'll get Night Raven back in, because I want to see that Hunter play, man. I want to see that Hunter play. That Marksman Hunter. We gotta kill him one more time just for the Hunter. Where's this Captura? I will see how that goes. And then we'll start queuing you guys at random. If you guys go with randomized people, randomized teams, randomized whatever, If you guys like swap all the people around, like if Matasao ends up playing with Night Raven's group, then he goes to Cry's group, and then he goes to Alex's group, and then Laska's, and all the Judo and all those guys like end up flipping around different groups, I'm perfectly okay with that, dude. You know, having like people face against one another. Because I would eventually want to do Captura versus Fortune. I think that'd be really cool to watch. You know what I mean? EDC'd? Oh, everybody EDC'd? Yeah, I'm struggling. I can't figure out if I want to go human or say no. Well, I wouldn't know much about the racials, Seavark, but I remember Volts talking about how you want to go Night Elf for Shadow Meld or human for the looks, but Gnome ended up being the best in terms of the racial. Like, if there's a racial you can use, I think that's really awesome, but for me, it doesn't matter. Like, a racial doesn't really matter for me at all. Wolf invited me. How you doing, my guy? What's this? Hi, how's it going? Hi, I can't be in a group with you. I have to be queuing people against one another. Otherwise I would. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, hold on. Bye-bye. Really nice of you to invite me to a group, but I gotta go. I gotta keep you. Wait, are you guys in the same group? Is Captura and Night Raven in the same group? I think they are. Are you in Fortune's group? Are you in Fortune's group? Cringe or peer, sorry about that, invite the wrong person. It's all good. Okay, let's try Night Raven. If Night Raven is DC'd again, then we have to queue somebody else. Okay, now I think it works. Maybe? For Arcane, Gnome is biz, but racials are becoming more and more important, I feel. Like, I'm not sure. Really innocent, but escape art is also insane. Yeah, I feel like at the end, it really comes down to you. Like, for me, when I play a Rogue, I never really started playing as Orc or any of the other racials in BFA. So I just kind of learned around to play Outlaw Rogue. Plus, how many people really play Outlaw Rogue? So Nightborn for me, I felt like it was fine. Maybe I could get some use out of being Orc, you know, since stuns a little bit less, but you can play around it, I guess. But if you've been using Gnome racial a lot and you find it super useful and it actually like wins games for you, you can say Gnome. You know what I mean? If you find a racial that's useful, I say play the racial. Outside of that, you can play whatever you like. You know? At least that's how I've been doing my thing. Thing is about I'm getting kind of bored of the Gnome. I mean, if you want to try something else, you want to give it a go, I think Blizzard will allow you like a 24-hour, like, hey, I'll revert it back for you kind of deal. You know, and the money will be brought back to you, but in like your Blizzard account or whatever. So basically, you're not really going to be, you're basically losing money either way kind of deal, I think. Or maybe they can revert back to like a card or a bank or whatever. I don't know if they do. I know they're doing me a refund, but I don't remember if it was like in a BattleNet balance and use it for something else, or if it was like, yeah, I don't know. But I know you can do like a revert. Like in 24 hours. Okay, Captura and Night Raven. I don't know what's going on. Bredomancer wasn't able to join. Okay, we'll try it again. Hold on, Night Raven and Captura. I have no target. Did one of you guys go offline? Captura is on. While Night Raven is not on. Did you see? Night. Is that the problem? Okay, we'll get Captura versus somebody else. I don't know what's going on. We'll get Captura. Captura and Laska. We'll do those two. I don't know what's going on. Night Raven will get back to me, but it was having trouble queuing him. Plus, I don't even see him on Real ID anymore. I'm hearing my team is ready. Yeah, I'll get you versus probably Alex right after, as soon as we get Captura and Laska, unless that's bugged as well. Which that could be bugged. But we'll try, boys. Your other group? Yeah, I will do it. I will do it. My alt mage is already human, but I came. Your alt mage? How do you like a mage, alt mage then? Like, do you have any issues with mage as a human? Like, do you like it? Do you prefer it better than gnome? Or, I mean, since you have an alt, you already know how it plays. And now you can decide, man. You know what I mean? Come on, time. Okay. It's bugged, boys. I will keep queuing. Just keep pressing accept no matter what. It is bugged. I'm going to keep queuing as best I can. Also, what is that Mog? Yo, I like it. What is that the Legion set? It looks so good on Nightborn. It's like there's a midriff. That's what, or not Nightborn, but a Night Elf. Is it because of female Night Elf? It got like midriff. Dude, it looks so stupid on the males. It looks like a tourniquet or something. I look like I'm about to present a new Apple product with that thing. You know what I mean? It looks fucking weird. But on females, is that a Demon Hunter thing maybe? Or is it just a female character thing? Because that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty dope. I like that. It's so simple, because I always thought like, wow, that's like looks kind of ugly. But I always play like a Nightborn or Blood Elf male prior. Actually, I did play Blood Elf female, and it didn't look that good. Must be a Demon Hunter thing. Either way, that looks so good on Demon Hunter. What the fuck? It looks so good. Come on, time, one mistake. All right. I will get you in. I'll get you boys in. I'm gonna get you boys in. Captura. Wait. Alaska and Captura. Yeah. It's 70. I'm level 79. That's level 70 twink. Whoa. It's level 79. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Chill down on the rogues. Yeah, not too many rogues. Yeah, not too many rogues today, boys. Let's get some variety in here. You know what I mean? Let's get some variety in here. Rogues are fun and all, but variety is variety is variety. You know what I mean? Alrighty, switch. We got ourselves Team Russian Invasion with Team Red. This is gonna be a little bit it's gonna be a little bit hard to. I'm gonna try to do the best I can with the names, but I'm gonna mess them up a lot. It looks like it's Bed Boys. Bed Boys. I want to say Bed Boys, like B-E-D, like bed, and then boys. Bed Boys as a hunter. We got Beatle, I think. Yeah, I think so. Beatle, maybe close enough. We also got ourselves a Val. We'll call him Val, as an unholy DK. Look at Spiffy. We also got ourselves Den. We call him, Den. Just the first few letters are fine. As an assassination rogue by the looks of it. And we got Slim. Slim Hardy. I know how to do that one. As an unholy DK versus Team Blue with Beru. We also got us as Russian Mage, Jakal, Chudzi, and a Apocrypha. Oh my god, so many Russians in here, boys. So many Russians in here. I'm gonna mess up your names hard. But it's not like anybody in chat, most of you guys watching this as a stream or a video, won't even tell if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong. Because none of you, most of you look at the letters, you think this is a B-E-R-Y, and then 10. Then what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? You guys don't need to know what it is. Beru's actually taking a lot of necrotics right now. Slim, how about you go full unloading damage, trying to see if you can kill him before the bop is available. Beru trying to pop out some wings, looking to end this game pretty early. Big old death back coming down for Slim Hardy. Treyas actually has Beru on the ropes. That is going to be a bop, but the necrotics is still sticking. He's trying to see if he can maybe interrupt him. Does not get the interrupt on a flash of light. Is going to be able to get a grip. Flashlights are coming from Beru to make sure he's safe and not sorry. Transfusion coming out for Slim Hardy right now. Beru landing a short stun, but it's going to be a Lynchborn available for Slim Hardy. Beru might be down for the county and trying to see if he can escape out of here. A Shade of Ice, I'm not going to hold him down through the Hand of Freedom. Let's have the pets surrounding him for a second. Slim Hardy's looking quite healthy right now. If Slim Hardy has an answer for the next Hammer of Justice, maybe pre-AMS it, then he wins AMS it, trying to pre-hodge this one. Beru taking a lot of necrotics right now, taking a lot of damage. Needs to get a hodge right now to separate from the DK. Otherwise, he's going to be down for the count. And looks like the Paladin might be down. And down he goes. Slim Hardy taking him out. With Chudzi DK coming up next, is going to drop an Abomination after him, but he's going to drag and kick away from it. This one Slim needs to take the monk next to the Abomination. Going to be Fist of Fury with a leg sweep. Looks like it actually hit the Abomination as well, as there's going to be a couple of necrotics stacking up on Chudzi. He's going to get that AMS rolling. Slim Hardy is going to be able to get quite a lot of healing from those death strikes, but the karma is just going to shred through him. Does have Lynchborn if he wants to. Lynchborn might be better here right now to get himself an extra defensive. Is going to get an extra Army of the Dead rolling. Chudzi getting a Fist of Fury. Parry up on a Slim. Needs to get those death strikes rolling. Trying to death strike for his life. Somehow surviving this damage. Chudzi just doesn't. Oh, it looks like Chudzi does have the finishing power. I was going to say he does not, but he does have the finishing power to take down the DK. And Bed Boys is going to be up next. Bed versus Chudzi. It's going to get a ring of boopity bop on one corner. Going to try to see if he can disengage to the other side, dropping down the traps ahead of time. But Bed Boys needs to get on top of Chudzi. Needs to get the line of sight, let the pet do the damage. He needs to get the pet to ramp up. As you can see, the pet is doing some damage, but very, very little. Look at that. Chudzi can actually just unload on the pet. Bed Boys might just have to wait for the pet to come back and maybe pull the pet back. He actually does not want to walk at Chudzi. He wants to get him out of that position. Is Chudzi ever going to leave the safety of that position he's got, having an entrance on one side or the other? I mean, the Ring of Pieces is going to make it harder for the Hunter to do anything. Trying to see if he can slow him down. This is going to drag and kick on top of him with a root. Lexia to follow. And that's going to be images with a big old fist of fury. Bad Boys is going to get himself quite a bit of defenses, but it's not going to be enough as the damage is still going through into Bad Boys into another defensive with survival of the fittest, acceleration to follow, and Dire Basilisk is seeing the light of day. Stun into Chudzy, where Bad Boys needs to do the most amount of damage. Actually, has Chudzy on the ropes before he can kill him, though Chudzy does go for a transfusion, or he does go for, not transfusion, he goes for a port into a karma into Bad Boys. He goes for a big old turtle shell, trying to deny the damage of that karma. And Chudzy's kind of out in the open. Bad Boys needs to capitalize on the advantage here, but Chudzy is going to go for the ring of boopity bob, booping the pet out of the way. Bad Boys needs to push up and get some pressure onto Chudzy right now before he gets any more defenses. But the thing is, with Chudzy, he'll link cap you, he'll fist of fury you. You feel like you can be in control, but this man is going to be coming out on his own terms. Bad Boys better take advantage of the situation. The fact that the monk is not behind the pillar right now, but it's going to be touching death right now into Bad Boys. He does not have an answer for it. Into leg sweep. I think that secures the kill for Chudzy, and down it goes. Chudzy coming out in the open only on his own terms. You can't make this man come out. You got to chase after him, though. That is the problem. I know it's a monk. I know there's Ring of Peace. And I know a lot of you guys are like, you know what? I really don't want to have to run around the corner with the Ring of Peace. At least keep the monk on the run. That is the problem. They can run, but everybody has a set amount of endurance to them. You got to keep the chase. You got to keep the pressure rolling as much as you can. And Valdemar? Hold on. Valdemar. Is that like Voldemort, kind of, but not really? Maybe that's the name? Val is gonna be next though. Call him Vlad, maybe. Call him Vlad. Do you know that the first two letters, first letter looks like a B, next letter looks like an A, and the next letter looks like a, I don't even know. It's actually the letter L. And then the letter next to the letter L, the fourth letter, looks like a B, English B. It's actually, basically in Russian, it means like a soft symbol. So it means the letter before that goes from an L to L, Val. So instead of Val, Val. It's weird. Doesn't make any sense. No, think about it in Russian. Nikolai started to stack up to Chudzy, but he looks like he's going to be quite alive. And Val is looking like a Val instead. He's looking like a softy rather than a big old man. No wonder he has that letter next to his name. Actually, he needs to replace it with a... there's also another letter that's like basically a heart sound. So the L is like, ooh, like a hard letter. Big old letter. He might want to change the name to make sure it's a big old hard orc. Not a big old softy. Being a strange class and being a softy just doesn't match up. Drinking coming out for Val though. Off that end cap. And Chudzy might just have opened himself up an opportunity, although he's starting to feel some pressure. The Christ actually started quite a bit of effort to him. He's going to get himself a little bit of a diffuse magic. Karma is available, but no big damage coming out for Val. But he might be able to land him with a Fist of Fury right before a Strangulate comes up. Val's just trying to buy himself a little bit of time. Chudzy not looking all that healthy right now. Abomination's rolling in. He actually might just have to roll the hell out of here. Oh! Looks like Val did earn the hard letter instead of the soft letter, man. This man was able to take Chudzy down a peg. And having to go against Apocrypha, he's going for full death strike wombo combo. Hopefully he has every defensive variable. Pre-AMS and this damage from Apocrypha, who is playing a Frost DK. Actually, for Val, this might be a perfect opportunity unless the Frost DK can get an upper advantage on the guy. An upper hand on him. He might be able to survive through the Frost DK damage. It's just very predictable damage. Stun coming out onto Val. He does get a stun to Apocrypha as well. Apocrypha is going to be playing. Apocrypha is playing a couple things. One of them is under a trigger. Second, he's playing Chillbane, which actually is going to balance between Val and his pet. And that could do quite a bit of damage, but the pet didn't have any health available, so that pet died immediately before the snowball was able to get any more bounces back and forth. Apocrypha, if you could just line yourself up the best burst right now, get the most strange buff ever, and then use Chillbane to balance between the pet and Val, that actually might end them. That burst on its own might just be killer by itself. So Val is actually on a timer. I think it's a 45-second cooldown for that ability before it starts to bounce. So Val is not looking all that good. Second stun coming down to him right now. Also stun on the pet. It's going to get more damage for Apocrypha. Trying to get an MS rolling. She should be able to keep him alive through Chillbane. But if Apocrypha has that snowball to balance between those two right after, oh, that might be the end of the game. That's going to be a bit of AMS available for Apocrypha as well. Does get out of the stun. Going to be full Abomination coming out with a transfusion for Val. Is just trying to survive. Actually turn the damage around to Apocrypha. Apocrypha with the Army of the Dead. Chance usually coming out for Apocrypha 2. It could be anyone's game. Both of these deathless are just trying to min-max the damage of one another. Apocrypha still trying to just put on the pressure onto Val. He got the Army of the Dead, trying to wait out for the Army of the Dead to do all the tricks. Stun onto Val. He does trick it out of it. Apocrypha is super low in health. Necrotic is trying to stack up. Apocrypha is trying to get some health back up. It's going to be Remorseless Winter trying to get those death strikes rolling. Stun onto Vad. Might be the edge of the guy and does go down. Apocrypha taking him out with a Garrote instant cheap shot by Den. And Den taking him out immediately, looking for the next guy. Just did not let Apocrypha get a full reset there. And Jar is going to be up next. Feral versus Assassination Rogue. These are actually coming out perfectly, cooldown for cooldown, all the things available, all cities available, the full setup is available. That's going to be a kidney shot by Den a little bit early. Regrowths are coming out for Jal. Maybe Den is trying to see if he can poke out and maybe even Shadow Step interrupt him. Maybe, could be able to, might be able to. Looks like he doesn't get himself full reset. Going to be some bleed set up by Jarl Call. The Thorns are up and running as well. So Den actually looking to catch a full reset. Is going to be able to. Moonfire is going to slam on him. So actually it's going to be a full reset for Giles. So Den might just have to approach him. Just at least try to deny the Feral reset. Is going to get a Feral reset on him regardless. With a Rake stun, they're going to be able to get the rips and the thrash and everything. Get a shot onto Jal right now, where Den could turn the damage around for quite a bit. Doing quite a lot. Short stun onto Den right now. Going to be some Crucibles coming out for Ja. Into a evasion for Den. Ja might just want to counter peel out of here. Might want to pop a defensive. He's trying to go for as much healing as possible without popping big defenses. Might just have to use it. It's going to go for a wall as well as renewal dem. Now look at all the good with all those dots rolling on the guy. It's going to go for Warlock Hellstone with a concoction rolling right now. Jal actually going to turn around with a necrotic on top of it from the Mali. It's a safety chicken. Jal, does he survive the safety chicken? Looks like it's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Wall and Thorns are up. Den does have a clock of shadows. Cheap shot to follow. Jal is somehow alive. I have no idea how. Shadow Step coming out for Den. And it's going to get that Crucible at the very end. And he's going to try to bail out of there with BM Mage going up next. We're gonna call him BM Mage just to make it easier because I have no idea what that name says. Blind onto BM Mage. Is he gonna trick out of it? Mark Ferreth ready for Den. He has the Mark Ferreth ready a little bit early. You can go for a Kinder shot in case. BM Mage was gonna get maybe a trinket out of the blind. It didn't happen. First aid coming out for Den. Trying to min-max the health as best as he can. He's gonna try to bail out of there for a moment. For BM Mage, though, this is going to be quite a tough one. It is an Assassination Rogue, so it's probably the best setup. If it was sub, that's a lot of mobility. Just allows for the sub rogue to stay on top of the mage the whole time, never leaving his sight. Assassination, however, does have silence, does have that aggressive kidney shot damage, but only one Shadow Step. So if you're somehow, oh, that missed trinket, though, is probably not going to help him at all, though. I don't know what he was trying to trinket, but I guess he trinketed at the very end of a Garrote. I guess he was trying to instant trinket a kidney shot, but it's going to be cheap shot either way. So now BM Mage has no trinket available and might as well have no answer, no potential. I guess Den not having a trinket might put him into such a bad situation that it just might be over. Might have to use Ice Block a little bit early, not even going to be allowed to eat any food. So Den having only one Shadow Step for Arcane Mage essentially is the best option. It is the best setup. It is the best that it could be. Only one Shadow Step, only one moment of mobility. Action's quite huge. Though that kidney shot is going up for Den and is doing quite a bit of damage. Yo, what is that opener? Cheap shot? Garrote cheap shot into a kidney shot later? That's an interesting way of going about it. That's very interesting. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. And BM, I mean, just melting. That's all it took. And that was it. Wait, that was it for Team Blue? Oh my god, did somebody leave? Or was that just the whole team? It looks like the whole team is out for the count. Wow, there it goes, man. Engrave means keep it watching Russian boys. That's what it means in engrave. It also sounds like you're saying so BM Mage. It is BM Mage. Yeah, no, I just saw a letter V. Oh, maybe there's a letter V. Oh, I screw up Russian letters all the time, man. It's been so long. Alrighty, boys, let's get a new one going. Is Night Raven back by any chance? Alex is still ready. Lasco also wants to go. Yo, let me get somebody else to play really quick. Somebody that hasn't got to play yet. Yeah. 95. We got Alex and we got Chrysler in here. Night Raven is back. Alright, Night Raven. We'll get you guys rolling sometime soon. I did promise Chrysler, yeah. This is why I shouldn't make any promises. Because then I need to stick to the dude. But I'm a man of my word. Whoa. Hey. Whoa, that's quite a big dono. Hey. Who that be? Who that be? Appreciate you, Cran. Appreciate ya. Wow, that's kind of awkward. It is a little bit awkward, boys, but I'm not gonna go into it. Wow, it's a little awkward. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, let's get another one going. Switch. We got ourselves Team Blue with Christia. Gonna be going as our Retribution Paladin. I do like that. I really like that Mog with that weapon. Honestly, Loopy Hunt already got his cooldowns up and roaring. Are we playing Marksman? Beastmaster, look at that pet. We also got ourselves Prox is a good old Feral Druid. We got Schweppes in here. And we got Zully as a Shadow Priest. I like it. Zully is allowed to go for a life swap if they don't go last. Athaman on Team Red with Chrysler in the back. We also got ourselves Valinar as an Holy Death Knight and Mizik. But we are missing one person on Team Red. However, there's a good chance that they get back in. That's going to be Sam God Eggs from Outland. Are you playing sub? Probably assassination as most rogues are, but if you were playing sub, I'd be so happy. Looks like Chrysler is going to be going up first. It looks like I think Loopy Hunt tried to see if he could RP walk to him. Looks like he was trying to RP walk to give him a nice bow, but it looks like it's not going to be happening. He's going to get a freezing trap onto Chrysler either way, so that's going to be nice positional. And Loopy Hunt should be able to get quite a bit of damage onto Chrysler here, dropping down Infernal immediately with immediate Casble to follow. Fear right after, into Casble right after. Loopy Hunt is going to go for Turtle Shell. He does Turtle at a perfect opportunity, though, to survive the damage that goes out. Shadow Fury by Chrysler after into Cataclysm to follow. Loopy Hunt is kind of backpedaling there. Might get hit with the Fear. Actually, dodging all the Fears does not get a perfect interrupt onto Chrysler. Looks like he delayed it by a little bit. Now it's going to be Casble right after to Loopy. Maybe one Casble. Second Casble does connect, doing quite a bit of damage. Loopy is not really looking all that good. Freezing trap on one side, could guide the pet over to the other side. Loopy Hunt though is going to be able to freeze that pet. Chrysler getting a come flag onto Loopy, trying to land a Fear. Does land it. Casble not empowered this time, might be able to survive, but a second Casble might get him close into a few. Emily, Loopy Hunt barely has any health available. Used to go for Beastmaster pet healing. ASAP going to be a second CC for a quick second. Trinkets out of it and does get interrupted to Chrysler. Casble still might land though. Does not get it as he does max range it. Loopy Hunt is actually on such a retreat. Use the trinket in the worst possible way. He's actually out of defenses. He was just very unlucky. He trinketed at the very end of a succubus CC. I know he went for an interrupt into Chrysler, but I think even if he didn't trinket it, he could have still got that interrupt. Because Chrysler messed up by having a DR that much with a succubus CC. But either way, Loopy is just on a retreat. He's going to get hit with a Shot of Fury into Cataclysm on him and his pet. So for Chrysler, it's going to be quite a lot of resource generation. If Chrysler has Horror, like that's it, and doesn't even need it, I think you just hit him with the big old come flag and down he goes. Christia is up next as a Retribution Paladin is going to go. Well, it looks like an honor duel for Chrysler, but he's like, you know what? I'm going to send the pet at you. I'm gonna get it going. Nope, real duel. Nope, I got cooldowns, man. I gotta set up. I gotta keep myself in the game. Chrysler trying to come back and claim his spot as the best destruction warlock in this side of EU. This man has a long competition to get to the Loopy Hunt down. Christia, Prox, Schweppes, and Zully are next. But at least he's gonna back up for a second. And Christia is going to be able to charge at the guys. He is going to hit him with the come flags out in the open. Keeping him out in the open. Going to be some freebie Casbles to follow. Shield of Vengeance off for Christia right now. Landing a slow onto Chrysler with a Hand of Freedom. Chrysler used to be aware of the Paladin Burst. That's going to be Succubus CC, which Christia does trick it. Hard onto Chrysler. He's going to trick it out of the blood of the enemy. And Chrysler is actually going to bail away from the burst. That is a perfect use of the Warlock Gateway. Getting interrupted on a Fear. Still lots of damage available for Christia as that is waste. But blood of the enemy damage is gone for the most part. It's going to land one more Fear onto Christia with a Shatter Fury right after with a Casble, Smackaroo, Incinerate to follow. And that's going to be a lot of the damage for Christia kind of out of the way. So Chrysler got himself in a really, really good spot for now. Exceptionally good spot. It might be in a good position, man, for now. Christia is getting hit with an Infernal with a Cataclysm right after. Oh my goodness, that's going to be quite a bit of damage. And Chrysler can just keep Christia out in the open for long enough to get those big Casbles up and running. Oh, bubble coming out for Christia. Did not trust that one, dude. Did not want to bet and trust on that Casbolt. I think that would have been maybe first empowered Casbolt, if maybe the second empowered, or maybe a primer. That's still going to be some Casbolt straight to the face. Getting interrupted on fire. Actually, Chrysler got interrupted on fire. If he had more soul shots, he would have been able to get more Casbolt damage, but the Infernal does not last long at all. Did Christia focus the Infernal? I won't be surprised if he actually focused on it. Honestly. Christia is going to try to get some damage onto the pet for a little bit with that Holy Power Generation. Chrysler with a Cataclysm right after. Hodge onto Chrysler to follow the Christia. Trying to see if he can live it long enough. He does have a Shield of Vengeance. He could combo the Shield of Vengeance later onto Chrysler. Chrysler's going to hit him with a Horror Effect. Stun right after. Is going to use those scalables to blast through the Shield of Vengeance immediately. Although Shield of Vengeance does hold on by a hair. Chrysler is going to use a Succubus CC just to hold him in place for a little bit longer, trying to minimize the damage from that shield. And Christia is going to use the mobility to get behind the pillar. Chrysler so far has been able to survive everything Christia thrown at him. Although we should have Christia coming back with his cooldown soon. Maybe Wings and Blood of the Enemy could be available. Chrysler still holding on to his one big defenses, but the dampening is going to roll in about 30 seconds, boys. Chrysler better end this duel early. With Paladins, it's always going to be a slightly longer duel than ever expected. But Christia got himself huge damage. Succubus CC trickles out of it. Blood of the Enemy to Chrysler. He does use the Warlock Gateway. Christia, not sure if he wants to attack him or retreat. It looks like he's going to back up for a second. Let's get himself a heal. Get a big Ice Seeker sentence onto Chrysler. The Wings do empower a lot of the holy damage to be so much stronger than it, than it ever has been. It's a horror effect onto Christia. As Chrysler got himself Dark Zone stability. Is going to stun him or root him in second with a conflag. 5 minutes are in. We are going to start to see dampening rolling up, boys. Chrysler got himself quite a bit of damage. Is he going to combo together with maybe a big Infernal around the corner? I'm just trying to see if we can get an angle onto Christia. And it's going to be tough just landing that angle. Christia is just going to try to use that left and right, just shuffle it back and forth. You might just have to go for Succubus CC, man. You might just have to open up with a Succubus CC while keeping Christia in place. Christia needs to wait 1:25 before bubble is available again. But he might not want to wait that long. He's going to go for a full stun onto Chrysler. Actually, he hits the pet by accident. He trinket hits the pet by complete accident. That is so unfortunate. That's going to be Shadow Fury from a distance. Does hit the pet again. Christia, for some reason, is just hitting the pet. He's actually just focusing on the pet of Chrysler. I don't know why he decided to do that. He's going to end up killing it real quickly. Maybe he decided to use a trinket to hopefully kill it before the Succubus CC can come out. But that's going to be a big old main Casbots coming out with an Infernal resummoning of Succubus. Chrysler is going to have to commit some of those soul shards just for that alone. With a Demonic Gateway to follow. Christia try to see if he can get himself around the corner, away from Chrysler, away from the Infernal. And he's doing a pretty good job. Oh, wait, getting caught out in the corner. Not running away, not letting Sunny Chrysler. Does let a fat Casbolt get through. Christia looking to get himself a little bit of healing. 30 seconds left in that bubble. Hand of Freedom just to keep himself moving. The Infernal does not last long enough. This time the Infernal wasn't killed. This Infernal just dissipated. So last time Christia focused the Infernal, it looks like. And it's going to be able to get some holy power off of the pets of anything. Chrysler's back to ring around the rosy with Christia. All he can really do is maybe force him out in the open somehow. And just kind of try to see if he can burst him down. Chrysler so far has been desyncing a lot of his bursts available as a Destruction Warlock though. However, I feel like he still has a potential to do this. He still has a good potential to be able to take down Christia. Christia is going to have bubble though. So Christia, with full cooldowns, bubble, and if you have a little bit of mobility, you might be able to do this. But so far, Christia has been stalling this whole game. Chrysler literally going to sleep out there. Christia poking out for a second, bubbling, and choosing maybe go to behind the pillar to say, yeah, you know what, I'm actually just going to walk at Chrysler. Chrysler using the gateway to get away, and Christia back behind the pillar again. Christia, what is this pillar play? Oh my goodness. Christia literally is just confused. He's just unsure exactly what's approach. He's playing this super safe, but I think it's not because he wants to play safe, but rather it's like, I feel like if I don't play safe, I'm just gonna end up dying that easily. Christia just blew bubble. That is huge. Did not use bubble with his cooldown, so that's gonna be quite bad. So all Christia can do is really just sit behind the pillar and try to heal himself to prolong the game a little bit longer until they get another opportunity, which is, I mean, the dampening is getting super high. Eventually, Christia is going to lose. That's a big defensive out of the way. Chrysler is going to land a Succubus CC onto Christia. He does have a trinket if he wants to. That's going to be Dark Soul stability for Chrysler. Casbolt, Shadow Fury, Cataclysm right after. Maybe some more Casbolts to follow. Might be able to get Infernal, but looks like Infernal is not available. Another Casbolt is going to be on Shield of Vengeance. That does pop. Next to Chrysler, Horror Effect, trinkets out of it. Blood of the Enemy is available for Christia. Has Wings up and running. Could turn the damage around. Wall up for Chrysler. Is going to get a Casbolt out of that wall. Trying to just immolate down Christia. Might be able to take him down. Fury to fall into Christia just to get him out of the way. And Saritsa going to be hitting him for free. Flashlights are coming out for him, but that's going to be a nice flag for Chrysler. And next up is going to be Schweppes. Not going to give Chrysler an opportunity here. No gateway available for Chrysler for a little bit. Does have a trinket, but it looks like Chrysler without a defensive, he might be kind of screwed playing against a Death Knight who's just going to pre-AMS all this damage, unable to be CC'd by Chrysler, unable to be anything, it's going to be a massive Infernal coming down. Quasi is going to at least try to mash out as much damage as it can into Shreppies. Might be able to get a horror effect, interrupt on the fear, and down he goes. Shreppies just did not give him a chance. Who is up next? On Team Red, that was Crazy giving it the best, but Christy just did not want to give him the satisfaction of taking him out all that easily. Shreppies came in, sweeped it away with, I think, a Sab God X up next, getting a kidney shot, playing assassination onto Shreppies. Sees the trinket out of the DK, and it looks like he's just going to bail out of there, catch maybe a reset, maybe get Shreppies. Let the Dodge do a lot of the work. 25% dampening, rolling, transfusion coming out, and Shreppies is going to try to get some healing out of Sab God. He's going to get himself an evasion, not trinket out of that stun, as he's really just sitting on stuns. So Shreppies is going to try to bail away, doesn't want to get any melee damage to Sab God. Kidney shot coming out, and does get an IBF rolling with the blind to follow. A Sab got to just get it through all the cooldowns off of Shreppies. Try to see if he can still catch himself a little bit of a reset with Shreppies. It looks like Shreppies is going to pull the pet back. Sab God actually might be able to get a full reset here if he's careful. Is going to get hit with a chain of ice, trying to get some dots up and running with Shreppies. He's going to pre-AMS to try to see if he can deny some of the poison damage. Cloaker shot is coming out for Sap. Let's try to see if he can get away. Going to be some maybe auto attacks to the wall by Shreppies. Might be able to get some resources, kidney shot, and I think he's going to be down for the count. DK can't do anything. Next up is going to be Prox. It looks like Zully is going to be last as a Shadow Priest. That's very, very unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. Looks like Prox to try to see if he can fight Sab God. Does get hit with a Garrode. That's going to be Thorn. Sheep shot. It looks like Sab God just supposed to bail out of there, get himself yet another concoction. Prox is just going to use all them abilities. Sab God going for the advantage with maybe a little bit of a sprint. He's trying to see if he can sprint away from Prox. No blind available, no evasion, nothing. Human trinkets out of it with a feint. Does get a kidney shot onto Prox, but looks like Prox knows that Sab God has nothing left. Might be able to commit damage. Backs up for a second. Letting the dots rot him down. And that's about all you can do. I think Sab God is actually dead. Trying to keep himself afloat with a Crucible. Might be able to survive it just a little bit longer. But Prox is looking to maybe get himself another reset. Does get a reset onto Sab God. He did get himself a concoction roll a little bit early. Kidney shot onto Prox. Sab God still looking to see maybe he might be able to get himself a full reset. Smoke bomb does come out. Might be able to catch a reset for a second. The Sab Prox out in the open. If the bleeds are down. Might be able to. No, looks like Prox is the one who got a reset as well. Does get hit with a Garrode, but trades out a big old swipe. Atherman is trying to see if he can take down Prox. Wall and Thorns are coming out, so Ather actually might be able to go for a full on hard setup, but the Prox next setup he gets a chance. Maybe Head of Freedom, maybe Pony Up is going to go for Crucible. The bleeds are doing quite a lot of damage though for Ather. Oh my goodness. That's a bad Head of Freedom, but Prox does catch a reset. Interrupting Ather on that heal. Very unfortunate. Ather's actually bleeding quite profusely. Oh my goodness, he actually might be down for the count soon. He's gonna at least get himself a flash of lights. Prox is gonna catch himself a full reset here. Does get a stun to Ather. Here's my adaptation, so he's not going to be able to get out of any of those stuns. Wings coming out for Ather. How big is damage going to be onto Prox? Get himself quite a bit of crit. Get him Prox to 50%-ish health. Is going to force out one of his traits. Bash to Prox is going to be super DR. Dones are up and running. Ather could bubble if he wants to. Does not have any mobility to catch up to Prox. He does hit him with a slow, but that's about all he's got. And Prox looking to catch a full reset here. While Ather got wings up and running. The wings are down for a little bit. Does have the middle long wings. Prox is looking to catch a clean reset. Going for those regrowths whenever he can. Rejuice as well. 43% dampening. Any health is going to be good health. Landing a stun onto Ather. He does a bump. He does a bubble. It looks like Prox is going for a big damage right here. Ather might just want to bubble or bob this maybe a little bit early. Prox has one more wall available. He's going to go for some cooldowns as well. Berserk is up and running. Ather has a little bit of eye for an eye, but it looking like it's not really doing that much damage to Prox as the bleeds are up and running. The Prox are happening for Prox. He's getting all those Azeroth Prox happening. Bubble coming out for Ather. Having to go for flashlight. He does not have the return power to turn it around onto Prox. Prox also has a trinket backup as well at 12 minutes in, 47% dampening. It looks like Ather tried to go for a random blind into Prox. He didn't quite hit him out of stealth though. And that's going to be interrupt onto Ather. Try to see if maybe he can stop him from being able to Hodge. Going to be trinket out of Prox onto that Hammer of Justice. Bob might come out for Ather. He's trying to flash the lights. There's no Skull Bash is available for Prox. Bash to follow. Does he have the Bop? He does have Blessing of Protection as Prox got the big combo points up and running onto Ather. And it looks like he just wants to catch a full reset. I don't know what Ather can do here. I have no idea what Ather can do here. It looks like a losing game. If Ather can somehow just blast out the biggest paladin damage ever onto Prox out of nowhere and get all 100% crits on everything, that might be the only chance. But with a bubble and bop at this high dampening, this might be tough. He can't even trinket out of it since he's going adaptation. He has a human racial. But I think human racial might be down for the count for now. flash of lights, but is that going to be enough? Crucible's out of Prox. They're just letting the bleeds to work. I think Anthem might be done, and he is done. Bear form coming out for Prox. Next is going to be Valinor and a Holy DK. Is he going to approach? He is going to try to see if he can get an angle around Prox. Backpedaling a little bit. Short stun onto Prox is going to hit him with a Chain of Eyes, but the Feral is not going to be stopped with Chain at all. What's up, Landra? Hi there, Landro. Hope you're having a good one. You know who's not having a good one? Valinor. This health is basically gone completely. What just happened, my boy? Yo, can we get a hashtag LandroLand in chat showing appreciation for the wonderful donation? Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate you. It looks like Valinor is literally down to bleeds. I looked away for just a second, and down was the guy. Prox just took him out fairly easily. Mizik is up next as an assassination rogue, looking to land a kidney shot onto Prox. Super DR'd. Does get a Vendetta rolling. Prox is having to tank up all this damage. And is going to use all that infinite mobility. Try to see if he can get away from Mizik. Is going to hit him with a little bit of an Envenom, which is going to use System Shock, slow on Prox for a second. Vendetta is still up and running. It looks like Prox was able to survive through the worst of it. He's going to have a trinket for the next kidney shot available. Double Garrote coming out by Mizik. He's got a human racial out of this one. Does have Cloak of Shadows for the Storms if he wants to use it. He's getting quite low on health. Might just have to vanish out of here. Cloak and vanish, but still the bleeds are up and running. Looks like I think Prox has him. He gonna die to his dots. Got himself a little bit of a heal from Chrysler, Warlock, Hellstone, but I think he's gonna die to in the end. Trigger coming out for Prox off of that blind. If Mizik can somehow turn this around with a kidney shot, looks like he's just backpedaling, he's just bailing out of there. I think you're just done, my friend. I think you're done, my friendo. 60% dampening. How are you still alive? Oh my god, and down he goes. My music just stopped for a second just to be like, is he actually dead? Jesus, dude. Prox with a big old 4-0. Just came in, he shred through everybody. That was incredible. That was just ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Alright, boys, let's get another one going in a bit. Let me go turn down the AC real quick, okay? It's feeling a little hot in my room. Alrighty, boys, let me just go back and turn down the AC real quickly. Be right back, and then we'll get next group. Okay, we're back. Yeah, it's gonna take a second for it to kick in, but it's really warm and stuffy in my room. Actually, it's already kicking in. Oh, because it's just pumping. Because compared to the other older place, like this place actually has a really good air conditioning. And somebody dropped it down to heat, and it's like, okay, it's cold outside, and heat is fine. You know, you want to make sure you're not too cold, but not too warm. But then it's just pumping like straight up heat. And where the vent is, and where the... Because I actually have a working fan here compared to the old place. Basically, the vent pumps, the fan picks it up, and it just hits me in the face. Over and over, like warm air. I'm just like, okay, I can do it. But eventually my nose starts to get stuffy, I can barely breathe, it gets super uncomfortable. I'm just like... I'm like having a hard time breathing. Anybody else get like that? Because let's say you're in a car, and turn on heat in the car, and then the hot air just blasts your face. I literally can't breathe. I don't know, is it just me? But it gets like super uncomfortable, and it's just like, I just get like tilted. I literally get tilted, dude. It gets so uncomfortable, I just get upset. Is it just me or not? Room review? Nah. It's a good room. It's a good room. It's a small room, but it's a good room. But it's just like the AC works way too well. In an old house, it barely worked, so whether it was on heat, whether it was cold, I just didn't have any AC at all. I literally didn't have any air. I had a fan on the side. Ah, but it's like so much just hot air. Am I the only one, chat? Am I the only one? Like when you're in a car, you turn on the heat and it just blasts your face. I literally at one point just can't fucking breathe. And just like I can't. I gotta roll down the window, poke my head out or something. I need fresh cold air. I can't just deal with this heat. All right, so who are we gonna have next? I think we got Night Raven and Wet Wipe got a group apparently. Wet Wipe. Let's get them up and running. Them. What? Hello? Okay. We're gonna rewrite it again. And Wet Wipe. Ah, okay. Now I can breathe. Sorta. It's gonna kick in, it's gonna get colder, but at least the hot air stop doing this thing. Okay. Did it work? Need one more? Need two more? Okay, no mind. You're not ready. Let's get Laska, I guess, yeah? I thought Wet Wipe was ready for some reason. Wait, is Alex ready? Night Raven and Alex. Oh wait, Alex just played. Okay, Night Raven and Captura. I don't know if he's ready. Let's get Laska then. Night Raven and Laska. Let's get those guys going instead. I don't know if Captura is ready. Captura, let me know. Alex, let me know. If you're all ready, let me know. Wet Wipe will get you going as soon as you're ready, my guy, yeah? Probably have you going against either Chrysler or Alex. Whichever one is ready. It looks like Chrysler is all ready to go. What class should I play for a Void Elf? I think a class that lacks mobility would be great for a Void Elf. Because that extra mobility you get as a Void Elf is quite good. Like a caster would be really good. But also melee could be pretty good too. Any class that plays around burst, that 5% extra damage for Void Elves, like Sub-Rogue or Survival Hunter, or any one of those classes that all by like burst within a short opportunity, usually in the opener. Those classes benefit from it, like Chaos Bolt, Sling, and Warlock. Drive down Infernal, buff with all the crit. That would be nice. Arcane Mage, Fire Mage is also really good, I would think. I will let Damon go first so he can get some plays. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let me try it again. Night Raven and Laska 5. Here we go. Are you friends with the other streamers like Asmon or anyone like that? I don't know him personally, no. I wouldn't be against it. I feel like Asmongold is a bit of a cretin of a human being, but so am I. Like, you know, I feel like when you grow up on video games to the point where it's just like to the unhealthy desire onto the unhealthy part, I feel like me and Asmon share that. And I feel like I also like his sense of humor, so I feel like we'd be able to connect on that, but I'm not like friends with a lot of people. I mean, depends who. Like Lucron, I consider him a friend. He's hanging out on the channel all the time. He should upload more videos. Census, I always thought of him as a buddy. We haven't talked in a bit, but I always, you know, had friendly thoughts about the guy. And Bonnie, that's a really cool dude. But yeah, like when you think of like a big name, most of them probably never heard of me. They probably heard of the city Dalaran, you know, because it's in Legion, but in Wrath, but Dalaran the Rogue, who? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's still not working. Hold on. Let me try it again. Yo, Night Raven, make sure you leave all cues. Laska, please do the same thing. I don't know what's going on. I'll try to get you guys going immediately. Does Atherman have a group? I saw that our friends in the area in Baka. Yeah, Atherman is another guy I consider a friend. Catch I gotta consider a friend, you know? Like all you guys, the boys I consider friends, but it's not like, you know, I'm friends with a bunch of like popular other big streamers or whatever. Did Team Russia play yet? I think they did. Laska's group, not Batch's group, but Laska. But I think same guys on the same teams. Doesn't do people the same. He's got an island map. Should I not open? Yes, wait with an island map until next reset, just in case, because we're not sure exactly how island maps work. Because the way that it works in PTR might not be the way that it works once the game hits 8.3. So the way it works in PTR is different than how it works on live game. Right now, if you were to, let's say, get a map on your character, copy them on PTR, the map could give you AP, it could give you chalk. However, if you open up the map right now, or even after the patch hits, it might be one of those maps where it's like, right now if you max on AP, it won't give you extra AP, or it won't give you extra chalk. Because the new season reset. Just save that map until patch 8.3 hits, and then try it. It might give you something, it might not. It's kind of up in the air. Some people say yes, it definitely will give you a reward. Some people say no, it won't give you a reward. Some people say open it after the patch 8.3. Some people say open it before patch 8.3 and start it early. But just to make sure you are safe on that, right click the map to like apply it after patch 8.3 hits. You might get some reward, you might not. It's kind of not a guarantee. I've been hearing conflicting thoughts left and right, so just to be on the safe side, you know what I mean? Candy, do you have a group? What about me? Candy, you too. You too. Yeah, I hang out and chat with you guys. I hang out with people in the Dalaran community, but like when it comes to other streamers, not really. I'm not against it, you know, but I just like hanging out with my community. I don't really like, it sounds bad, but I don't really care that much about other streamers, to be honest, you know what I mean? I kind of just try to focus on the community that we have here and hanging out with you guys. It doesn't really, like, I don't really care to burst out of my bubble. I like people in the bubble. I like all you boys in the bubble, but outside of that, his mic is good. Who's? Mine? Good response? My mic isn't working. Hello, hello, hello. It should be working. The team, our team EU, one guy remaining. Okay, still try is gonna work 100%. What about me? Are you EU lag boy? You are a EU lag boy. Okay, I don't know what's going on with Team Laska or Team. Goes to get someone else. Yeah, let's do Chrysler then. Let's try Chrysler. Knight, Raven, and Chrysler. We're still ready. 5 out of 5. Laska, I tried to queue. Laska, I tried to queue you. It didn't work. I don't know what is going on. I queued him against Chrysler. It worked all of a sudden. I get Laska queuing right after. I tried to queue you like 5-6 times, Laska. I don't know what didn't work, what worked. Maybe somebody's in queue somewhere. Switch. Could be not. I just want to get more games up and running. We'll get you guys queued right after, yeah? PvP groups, custom search. Yeah, do that. Alrighty, boys. Team Red, we got ourselves Candy playing a Fire Mage. We got ourselves Fortune as a monk, Judo as a monk, Matasawa as a marksman hunter. I want to say, yeah, might have change something. And then we also got Timmy Kush playing on Survival Hunter. I always like this man Mug. I think he just did something with the hair. I'm not a huge fan of like whole Prince Arthur's type of look, or not. Well, it's not really backwards. It's like, it looks so weird. I feel like if it was like stick it straight up, like a spiky one, I feel like it would look cool. Although his tabard is pretty dope looking. He knows I'm checking him out. He's flexing. Look, so I got Team Blue with Atho, Chrysler, Obliv coming back. Hey, Obliv, how you doing, my man? Hope you're doing good. Haven't seen that name in a while. We also got some Rogue, and we got Anduin. Alrighty, boys, good luck and have fun. It looks like Matasawa as a marksman is going to be going up first. As a marksman hunter main. If you guys always want to see a marksman hunter play well, this man would be like, one of the last few pillars of the marksman hunter community, you know what I mean? This guy plays marksman regularly. So if this guy is struggling with the class, that means marksman has a limit, but he's gonna give it his best goddamn shot. I hope. Hopefully he doesn't get screwed by like a setup. Let's go first to Team Blue. It looks like Atherman is back here, and they're trying to figure out. He's looking at Anduin, and it looks like Anduin is kind of AFK. He was also looking at Anduin. I think Anduin's supposed to be going first. It looks like some rogue is gonna be going up first instead. I'm gonna guess playing assassination. So Matasawa almost hits him with a flare, almost with a perfect flare. He is playing marksman hunter without a pet. So I wonder if he will swap the pet in or swap the pet out, or maybe just the opener he wants to get the most damage or what. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Some rogue though, hanging out on his side of the arena. Looks like he's going to be dipping his toes on the other side for a second. Hanging around the middle tombstone for quite a bit. Trying to scout out every corner. He has nowhere. That Matasawa is actually just sitting in the middle, just looking around. It is going to be up. Try to see if he can get close. He doesn't want to get straight too far away from line of sight. He doesn't want to go too far out. Sorry, boys. A little bit of a cough cleared my throat. So there's going to be a stealth duel for quite a bit. I could actually take a sip of my drink for now. Another player is knowledgeable. Yeah, Mark's going to have a hard time. Alright, Rogue. And Matasawa, are you guys gonna just chill? Are you waiting? Looks like Judo decided to randomly jump out. I don't think he meant to do that. Or is Judo going first? I think Matasawa, what Matasawa was trying to do, I think he was trying to wait out until camo's back up, so it was shadow melding. Because it looked like he was standing still for a second. I was wondering, like, is that a camo thing or is that a what thing? It's going to flare up with an eye up and running. And that's going to be actually mount up for the Some Rogue. Does hit him with a scatter shot as the cheap shot comes out. And Some Rogue does want to go for a full kidney. Blind to reverse that together with a freezing trap. Matasawa is going to be opened up on either way. The sap is going to be full. The stun, however, is not going to be full. It's going to be shortest cheap shot ever. Goes to land a kidney shot. That is going to be a vendetta right now. And some rogue is going to get knocked back for a second. Does he have a shadow step anymore? Getting quite a bit of crucible damage onto Matasao. He's going to check it out of the kitten shot. It should have been pretty short, however. And Mata is not really looking all that good right now. How much to go for pet revive? Maybe his pet died earlier. That, or maybe he never had in the first place, or maybe it was dead. Either way, he had a pet revive, so it's going to give his pet a little bit extra defensive to provide. This is going to get himself a little bit extra of that defense. Into a melee, onto some rogue. He's going to get an evasion rolling. Matasao not looking all that good. And actually, I think that might be the end. So Marksman Hunter is going to get a knockback for some rogue, but he's going to get a crucible in. And down he goes. Next up is going to be Kenny. Kenny, I think, was trying to give him a little bit of an honor duel. Just kind of be like, hey, how's it going? You want to wave? You want to say hi? No, he's just going to sling a knife at him. Fireball back. Looks like Marksman Hunters don't have it easy, boys. That was an assassination rogue. Or maybe Matasao had his pet dead or something from the get-go. Maybe if he didn't have his pet dead, that would have been a different situation. But that was tough. Going to be cheap shot onto Kenny. Some rogue is going for a little bit of a different place. So he's going to go for cheap shot. Maybe kitten shot right after. Breath to follow. Withering and Frost does get him with the kitten shot right after. And some rogue is still in the bad spot. Try to get himself a little bit of a heal. No advantage though. And Kenny got a couple of those Pyro Blasts needed in order to take the rogue down. Should have probably played that a little bit more carefully. It looks like Athman is backpedaling in there, dude. His turtle is broken. I think that's the problem. I think his turtle is a little bit broken. Alrighty. Atho versus Kenny. Fire Mage versus Red Paladin. Now, Atho has had a bit of experience with Kenny as Arcane before. And has done pretty well last time against Arcane. But Fire? That could be rough. Kenny and Atho just getting a little bit of distance. Atho trying to see if he can close in. Gonna be no Hand of Freedom. Nope. Actually just gonna wait it. He knows that Atho has adaptation, so next Polymorph is gonna definitely be adapted. Greater Power Blast trying to come out, trying to get another Poly. Gonna be a Breath instead. Polymorph to follow. Kenny trying to see if he can get himself a Greater Power. It looks like it is gonna connect, and Atho could shield Vengeance. Hodge onto Kenny. Atho's still taking the Greater Power damage. Might go for wings. He does not. He actually is just going for very sustained heavy damage. Shield up for Kenny right now. Atho going for wings. Pretty low in health right now, actually. Gonna be a little bit of a temporal for Kenny as a defensive. Atho looking like he's gonna be able to heal himself quite a bit. Fireball continuing to follow for Kenny. Into a Breath into Atho. Polymorph, is that a full poly? It is a full poly. He's gonna at least reset, letting those wings be a little bit of a waste with the Greater Pyro smacking him down. Ring of Frost does not work properly. Does get a blink. Does he get a second Greater Pyro? He does not get a second Greater Pyro. As Atho is trying to see if he can punish Cannon for a little bit. Does go for a blind play style. He does not go for a shorter Hodges. Blind, he's thinking might give him a little bit of an edge here, but we'll see if it does. We'll see if it does. Atho is going to get another set of wings. Might go for a Hand of Freedom here. This would be a perfect time to do it. Unless the Hand of Freedom can be stolen. Candy trying to see if he can blink around. Shield of Vengeance is up for Atho. Candy might just have to blast through that Shield of Vengeance. He's going to get himself a temporary rolling with his shield as well. Breath onto Atho. Might be able to hit him maybe with a ring. He does not get the ring off. Hodge onto Candy. Human racials out of it. Trying to land a Polymorph. Does it land it? Adaptation coming out immediately for Atho. Short Polymorph to follow. Candy trying to catch that Invis. And Invis he does. Atho is going to go set for eyes. He's going to go for eyes immediately. I think, what? No, turn around. Actually might go for a close eyes. He's not sure where Candy could have went. He's pretty sure that Candy might be in this area. Candy is just waiting, dude. He doesn't want to eat food yet. Because he knows that Atho is just going to turn around on him and he's not going to give him a moment. So actually for Atho, running circles is actually probably the best because Candy never got to eat food. He got to get some health regeneration behind the pillar, but that's about it. Man, now this duel has been going on 6 minutes already. Oh my goodness, this has been some long duel. I guess we did have a long, like, wait in stealth for both the Hunter and the Rogue. Cannon trying to land the Greater Promise. Does he connect the Ring of Frost here properly? He does get it. Might be a bubble out of Atho. Greater Promise coming out for Cannon. Might go for full combustion. Meteor onto Atho. It's going to be quite a bit of Pyro Blast damage. Atho's super low in health. Melee onto Atho. He might want to bubble this. Does bubble it. Trying to see if he can punish Cannon right after. But you know what? He decided, you know what? I need to stop for a second and just stay on a barrel or a crate or whatever that thing was. Greater Pyro, does that connect? He does stop it. I was thinking maybe he might blink around. Maybe he's like, I'm gonna get on Atho's nerves, see how I could blink in any area. If he had a double blink, he might have been able to get the double blink and follow a big burst right after. That's gonna be a bit of a reset that Atho needed. It's gonna be Frozen and Nova. Does Atho have Hand of Freedom ever? He looks like he never gets to use it. Polymorph to get adaptation out of the way. He does get updated. He does adapt that one. But Atho is now at a whole nother side, whole nother zip code of the arena. And Kenny is looking to maybe really just gonna hide the corner, try to force Atham in close. He's in a breath range. Wings coming out for Atham off of that Hammer of Justice. Looking to clap up some cheeks for Kenny. 16% dampening is going to allow Candy's Temporal to do a little bit of healing. Try not to get Polymorph at all. Is going to land a Polymorph onto Atho. Pyro Blast to follow. Is he going to be able to get a ring off of that? He is! And it's a perfect ring. No bubble available. Candy might just be able to unload everything on the guy. Combustion coming out, trying to get the most amount of damage. Atho does get himself a Shield of Vengeance. It does give him a little bit of defensive that he needed. And that's going to be a lot of that combustion kind of lost because Atho actually used the global in between of that panic running away to actually get a slow into Candy. Candy being out of blinks could not catch up to Atho whatsoever. Hand of Freedom is up and running. Greater Power still might connect. Actually stops it halfway through. Breath into Atho. Breaks out pretty quickly. Atho getting slows into Candy. And Polymorph's still trying to come out. Does he get interrupt him at all? I don't think he's going for interrupt whatsoever. He's trying to do the most amount of damage to Candy. Blind for a second, just so he can catch a heal or two. Actually might end up being the MVP here. Still trying to get those Polymorphs. Not going to get interrupted. Adaptation immediately coming out. And Candy is still trying to fight this tooth and nail. Another Polymorph onto Atho. Candy just might have to go for even more damage, but the combustion being out of the way. It might be done. It might be done, son. Unless Candy can finally somehow find a way out of here. Still trying to find in the corner. Not gonna happen as Atho is still on his trail. Can he land on a poly? Might be an ice block here. Trinket human racial out of Candy, trying to bake the hell out of there. And Atho does not have the mobility to catch up to Candy. He might be able to land that polymorph. And Atho is looking for that line of sight. It could be anyone's game at this point, boys. It could be anyone's game. Mally, is that Mally rolling on Candy? No, it isn't. If Atho had a Mally, that would have been quite big, actually. Lots of pressure onto Candy. Try to get a first aid in. Breath onto Atho. Candy is going to be able to get the polymorph off. No adaptation for quite a moment. So Candy is going to have to go for that full Greater Pyro playstyle every single time. Trying to see, sorry for bumping the mic there, if he can maybe crack through Atho. Meteor does come down, does not get it, does get an interrupt onto Atho, however. Unholy, Atho's locked out completely. No Shield of Vengeance. Candy getting the combustion in the last second in order to get the kill onto Atho. Does score himself a nice kill onto the Paladin. That was a very close game, and Obliv is going to be up next. Fire Mage versus Fire. He is allowing Candy to get a little bit of food. So that is at least nice, isn't it? I don't know what Fortune is he. Is he just like out here just to give him some words of encouragement or something? I don't know what's going on. Crazy just like trade liked him out of there. It's like, get. It's a duel between these two. Alright, Candy. 2 for 2, man. Can you get to the third one? Obliv is going to be probably your biggest challenge right here. That or Chrysler. But Paladins, he's got him on lockdown, dude. Adaptation, playing around and making sure to get those breath polymers. I actually thought Candy was going to go down there towards the end of that tussle. Breath, missed by Obliv. Gonna be a breath for free by Candy. Trigger for Obliv, interrupting Candy on Arcane. It's gonna go for a combustion right now. Candy could spell steal it if he wanted to. He's actually just gonna let Obliv get through a lot of his bursts. And Candy is going to take a little bit of extra dot damage using Crucibles defensively right now. Obliv just popped a lot of damage offensively, trying to surprise Candy. He's going to get a Meteor on the corner. Still, a Polymorph is going to connect. Did Candy even use his Ring of Peace? Ring of Frost? I don't think he got to. But he's going to get a Polymorph and a Greater Pyro onto Obliv. Meteor to follow right after. Obliv is going to take quite a bit of damage. Going to get himself a little bit of a... Whoa, he actually was able to get a lot of that health back through... He actually was able to get all that healing back through Temporal. Breath into Obliv. Nova by Candy. He's super low in health. Mally on Candy right now. This is where Obliv needs to get the most damage, but the Ice Block is going to come out early for Candy. Does not want to die to the Mally as he gets into Cauterize. Getting interrupted on Arcade. And that's going to be his Cauterize right now. He's actually on the ropes right now. Trying to see if he can bail out. Candy's super low in health. He needs to make a play right now into Obliv. He needs to make a play. Breath. Polymorph. If Obliv just Ice Blocks any of this, it's over. It's only going to play as long as Obliv does not ice block any of it. Does get frozen. Greater Power is going to connect. Obliv could just ice block it. Yep, he does ice block it. Meteor to follow by Candy. Does have combustion and everything. He's just going to wait it. He's just going to wait. He's just going to play super safe. He's like, I win. I win. There's no way Candy can come back out of it. There's literally no way. He's going to check out a Pyro Blaster too. Candy needs to go for Crucible self-heals as often as possible. Obliv needs to get in and get a big old breath. Candy doesn't have any shields anymore. And the Pyro Blast is going to connect and take him down. Oh my goodness. Team Kush is up next as a Survival Hunter. Man, this has been going on for a while, huh? Team Kush getting a big old Polymorph on him. Greater Pyro Blast is going to come out. Could he go for a Pet Stone while polyed? I don't think he can. He's actually going to try to see if he can polymer the pen, I think. But a stun comes out either way. Teammate Coach popping in some big cooldowns. Temporal coming out for Obliv. Trying to see if he can survive this a little bit longer. Mally onto Obliv though. No Ice Block available. Teammate's just trying to see if he can get through a Cauterize super quickly. Ring of Frost coming out. Down he goes to his own Cauterize. Super unlucky. Obliv tried to do Canny dirty with that Mally play. Forcing out Ice Block. And Teammate Coach did exactly the same thing. He was like, you know what? I got a big old Mally right here. Just slap that Mally on that ass. And Kryza is going to be up next versus Survival Hunter Timmy. Trying to see if he can get himself a big old Cataclysm around the corner. I want to say Cauterize or Combustion. All these words start to slur together when you just keep shouting them out as often as I do. Stun onto Timmy is going to hit him with a Cataclysm around the corner. Timmy's going to trade a dot, but that's going to be a Warlock right here, man. The dots... Ooh. That one immolate is going to do quite a lot of damage. It hurts. That one immolate hurts. Kryza is barely going to feel any of the damage coming from Timmy unless Timmy pops some real cooldowns trying to get those eagles flying. But Timmy's not looking all that healthy anymore. Trying to throw even more grenades, trying to keep the dots rolling onto Kryza. That's going to be a horror effect. He does turtle it, actually. He gets hurt by a horror either way, but he does have turtle to cover him as he is retreating. Manning bandages do come out at 51% dampening to barely do anything, though. And Kryza is dipping down in health a little by little, though. If Timmy can just continue the CC pressure onto Kryza with the dots, he really can maybe whittle him down. Cataclysm around the corner. He does disengage away from it, dropping a grenade onto Kryza. Fear to follow onto Timmy. He does harpoon through that fear, and Caswell's still going to get him low, and Kryza does take him out. That's hilarious. Timmy so far has been able to turtle while horrored and a harpoon while feared. That's hilarious. It's just kind of funny. I just can imagine there's somebody who's goes like, ah, and the harpoons is just afraid. Help me! Grips himself into Kryza. Gonna be a fear onto Judo with Infernal. Looks like Karma should have probably saved a little bit later. Judo might decide to commit so much damage back to Kryza. Is gonna go for a huge defensive right here with Diffuse Magic. Cannonballs still flying for Kryza. One Cannonball does connect, but Diffuse Magic was still up. Kryza with his wall, but that's all he really had. Judo is going to be behind the pillar, get as much heals as possible. He's going to come out when he's feeling safe and confident. Kryza needs to make sure he has the max range. Right now, it's up to Judo to make the mistakes. And Kryza is going to waste his own time a little bit. Roll coming out for Judo. Kryza is going to probably hit him with a flag. No, safeguard. Actually, no. Second CC. Cannonball is going to attack. Does he have the perfect combo here? If he has the perfect combo, Judo trying to pop in a wall. Kryza could go for Warlock Gateway if things go bad. Legs over to Kryza. Does he have a Warlock Gateway? Trying to get a Fury. Is going to get a trapped on a Fear. Come flag onto Judo. Does he get close enough to Gateway? He does not. I don't know if he had the ability to even get the Gateway. Anduin is going to bubble out of the Minicap immediately. Trying to see if he can just kill Azeroth Meme Beam on the Judo. That's a very interesting option. He bubbled just so he can Meme Beam. And that did very little damage. Remember when that thing used to do a lot of damage? Yikes. Anduin is kind of down on his cooldowns then. Judo come back. He barely has any health. He barely has any health. What? Okay, well there it is. Karma immediately. Anduin, do you have Bop? Chill of Vengeance is going to pop back to you. But does he have Bop? He has wings. In a Ring of Peace. Interesting. I think Anduin woke up on the wrong side of the bed, honestly, boys. I think Anduin woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know if he has a proper setup. It looks like he might have maybe like a Mythic Plus setup with a Meme Beam. He's not ready for that 1v1 duel with Judo, as Judo has just been able to out-juke him the whole time. Leg sweep, and it's going to be instant trigger for Anduin with adaptation into a disarm by Judo. Trying to get a heal against Judo, but it's going to get interrupted instead, and down he goes. That was weird, but Cannon and Judo apparently got 2 kills. Weird. But either way, I guess that works out, yeah? Yeah, that was just... I feel like that was just a kind of a weird duel to end that on, but everything else was great. I thought everything else went well. Too bad the Marksman Hunter didn't really get to play that much. I was really expecting something. Alrighty, boys, let's get another one going then, yeah? Let's get another duel going. Nerf Lucio says he's ready, I think. He's messing me something. Nerf Lucio might have a group. Does he though? Bring us in. Alright, we got Nerf Lucio, we got ourselves Wet Wipe. Let's get those guys going. Oh, Laska. Let's get Laska and Wet Wipe. I promise, Laska. This is why you don't make promises. I'll try to get him in. That's not a promise. Anyone mistakes of blowing the shield so early for the mean beam instead of going for wings of damage, and Judo just beat him because of it. Yeah, I know he didn't press Bop on the Karma. And then I don't know if he pressed Shield of Vengeance. He did press Shield of Vengeance. But like, yeah, it was just a little bit weird. It just like, I don't like the duels when they start like super exciting and then like a kind of like an awkward duel at the end. It's just like I kind of wanted to ramp up rather than ramp down. You know what I mean? Either way, though. Alrighty, boys, let's get another one going, yeah? Let's get another one going, alrighty? Switch. We got ourselves Team Russia with... We got ourselves a new contestant, Growlmore. That's a name I can actually say out loud. We got RC in here as well, Subsy as well. We got Veru and... Actually, it's Mogilia. So it's like a... Graveyard? We're gonna call him BM Mage because it looks like B and M is the first letters. Alright, just to make it easier. Versus another Team Russia with Vital. We got ourselves a Val. We got ourselves Den. We got ourselves Mihalin. Max. Can we call him Max? Close enough, right? And we also got, what is that? Proc? Proc, we'll call him Proc. Oh my god, some of these names. It's gonna be Max as a Pandaren Fury Warrior. Get in with the disarm off the bat. It's gonna go for the Pandaren ratio to Growlmore. Growl's gonna have to go for huge damage on the Max right here, but Max, man. Max, is he ready? Is he prepared? Looks like these two warriors are just tussling for one another. I think Growl tried to go for a Cyclotronic by the looks of it. It's gonna get a hit with a Maledic instead. Max, perfect opportunity for you to get some pressure rolling on the guy. It's gonna Zerker Rage out, but Growl still landing a charge heal off of Max into a Storm Bolt onto the Panda. He does trick it out of it, continuing the pressure onto Growl as best as possible, trying to get himself a Cyclotronic. I think he's also trying to see if maybe Max might go for an interrupt. Cyclotronic comes out. He does reflect it, I think. Back to Growl. That might have been the perfect reflect there for Max. Not looking at a lot of opportunities to reflect against the warrior, but that might have been perfect. And Max is continuing to shred through Growl. Stormbolt, trick us out of it immediately. Charge coming out for Growl, actually. And it's going to get a disarm onto Max. He's going to have to waddle out of there. Growl, unable to really get a lot of self-heals back through a disarm into a Stormbolt onto Max as well. And Growl so far, I mean, he's starting to make a recovery little by little, but not by much. He's still on the lower end, while Max has been on the higher end this whole time, trying to see if he can get maybe some mobility away from Growl, just trying to move out so he can get a charge back in. Max trying to stay on top of his health. Next Stormbolt, next setup. And everybody here got to make it play. Going to be a Blaze Storm early for Growl in case it's going to go for Rage Regeneration, but it's going to get hit with a stun. And Max just looking to run away from it. He's just bailing out of there. Leap coming out for Growl. Does get hit with a Fear. I think he might have gotten one Bloodthirst off, and it's going to be a Storm Bolt onto Max. Now, Max can use his Shield of Vengeance fairly easily. Or his Rage Regeneration easily. He actually has to wait. Now that Growl uses his Enrage Regen, Max should be able to use his Enrage Regen to catch up on health. If it's a chess match. But that's exactly what Max was waiting for. He cannot use it with a disarm on the way. He needs to be able to use it when there's no disarm or Stormbolt to stop it. He's going to get a Stormbolt onto Growl. He could go for it. Try to see if he can delay his defense. So gets himself quite a bit of healing either way. Stormbolt for Growl right now is just trying to turn the tides here. Both of these warriors are at the same position in terms of health. They're going to be tussling each other. I think until Dampening starts to kick in maybe. Unless Max... He does have Stormbolt. He does do what looks like a little bit more damage to Growl, as Growl's health is not looking good by the minute. Growl, however, does run Disarm, so he could end up winning just on utility alone. Mally rolling into Growl. He actually has no way out against it. He doesn't have a defensive rolling anymore. Does he get a Mally rolling back on Max? He does the Stormbolt into Growl. Perfect opportunity for Max. Might be able to get that X and Growl getting the stun into Max. A trick inside of it. Growl could go for a Disarm. He does land the Disarm. Growl still not doing good on health. He's still super low. Panda Racial coming down. His Zerker raging out of the Panda Racial. Growl is still hanging on you. Hanging by the skin of his teeth, of his hair, barely any health available. Executes are just pummeling back to back, and he somehow crawl out of it and reverse the damage back to Max. Max's health is actually not looking nearly as safe. Growl, if he can sustain himself there, next Stormbolt could be a setup. Is going to get a trinket off of that Stormbolt. Fear coming down into Growl. Max does get a charge. I don't know if he was able to capitalize on that charge heal though, as the Stormbolt came up right after, and Max finally able to go for his own Enrage Regeneration. Growl, no longer with a Mally rolling on him though, is looking like he might be able to make a quick recovery. His own Enrage Regeneration coming up in just a second, so Growl could turn this around, trying to go for even more damage to the Max. So far, I'd say Max safely has more damage than Growl. Growl, however, has the utility of Disarm and a Stormbolt. Both of these two, I think, are running Mally Trinket. That's going to be disarm into Max. He needs to find a way to deal with that disarm. Because that's a moment for Growl to heal up and a moment where Max is can't do any damage. That's going to be disarm into a Stormbolt. Growl trying to maximize the damage, but through a disarm and a Stormbolt, Max just doesn't take any damage whatsoever. Growl was at least able to recover in health. 4 minutes in, we are going to probably start seeing these guys into dampening. Max got some cooldowns up and running as his health is actually starting to see some wear and tear, trying to do the same thing to Growl. And Growl got that Cyclotronic rolling as well. Reflect getting baited by Max, also wants to bait out the pummel by Max. As long as Max does not pummel the cast, he only pummels the channel, he'll be in a good spot. Growl, not looking all that good anymore, man. Cyclotronic trying to come out. Does he get pummeled? He does get pummeled. Stormbolt onto Max for a second. Growl should be able to recover some health. Good follow up with a disarm onto Max right after. Growl, not looking all that good on health-wise, though. Next Maladin could be the end to him. Growl might want to use that in range regeneration really early on. All he needs to watch out is a Stormbolt from Max. Mally rolling up. Growl trying not to use his enrage regen at all, trying to wait and use it for later. Is gonna have to go for it right now. Max could maybe leap out of it. Gonna get a fear onto Growl in the Stormbolt right now. Just Blaze Storming out of the dude. Just backpedaling with a Blaze Storm. It's a Beyblade backpedal, dude. That's a Beyblade backpedal if I ever seen it. Just like out of here. I don't want to do it. Let's do a Panda Racial just to stop Growl in place for a second. Looks like actually the Panda Racial is working out quite well. Not a lot of Zerker Rage coming out for Growl. He did use Zerker Rage for fear, which I think might be the Max's ace in a hole, being a panda. That's it. You just gotta play a Pandaren. No wonder you're gonna have all the DKs rolling pandas because that Racial is gonna be busted. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Growl though still tussling and muscling, 5% dampening, rolling up. Max getting hit with a Stormbolt, but Growl, no matter how much damage he puts out, what build is he going for, my boy? No matter how many stuns into disarm combos you have onto Max, it's just it's so tough for Growl to get some real damage that sticks. It looks like Max got himself some cooldowns though. Fear coming out into Max, and Growl wants to bail away from all that damage. Actually getting hit with a charge leap by Max right afterwards. But it looks like a lot of his damage is going to be kind of gone. He did get hit with a fear and then leapt away. Strobel onto Max. Growl got himself some cooldowns rolling. Maybe did some to follow onto the Monk on the Pandaren. Monk Warrior. I was going to mean Pandaren Warrior. I mean, Growl got some cooldowns, but look at Max's health. I mean, no matter what he does, he's just healthy. Charge by Max. What is that heal by Max, by the way, just now? I know it's a charge heal, but like I feel like he healed more than your average bear. Jesus, and Growl is again getting close to the execute range. Next Trinket setup. Next Maladek. Could be it. Growl recovering quite a bit of health from a charge, but still not looking all that good. Max starting to dip for a second. Might be a perfect opportunity for Growl to turn this around. And just watching these two Fury Warriors just throwing swords and axes and what looks like scythes by Max left and right. It's just like a mess on screen, isn't it? But it's a glorious mess. Mally rolling into the ground core. He does have himself in regeneration if he wants to. Stormbolt coming out. He actually cannot heal off this for a bit. Execute's coming out back to back. Fear coming in. Blaze Storm coming out for Max. Again, trying to backpedal out of it with a Beyblade backpedal. But it's going to be huge in rage regen for Growl right now. 14% dampening, 7 minutes in. And Max looking like he actually might be in a bad spot. Does go for that clutch Panda Racial in order to get himself a charge, maybe a heal off of Glam. Does go for a reflect. Looks like Growl might have actually canceled the channel early, or he messed up his own channel cancel. He might have messed it up. He might not have Cyclotronic anymore. He have has Cyclo. And if you can get a Cyclo into Max, he still might have a good position. All you just do is get a Stormbolt into Max and get a Cyclotronic from a distance. And that'll do the trick. He actually did it! Cyclotronic with a Stormbolt. He's trying to do so much damage. Trying to get him close to the execute. Can Max somehow recover? He's trying to leap away. Double charge for the both of them. So it's going to be a pretty big bloodthirst for the both of the Warriors. Growl still got so much damage pressure. Max actually might have it turned around on him. Commanding shot coming out for Max right now is going to be able to give him a little bit extra health to stave off those executes. But it's still in such a bad spot. Growl with the disarm. Max going down right after. Oh my god, Max has such a battle back to back with Growl. But in the end, that disarm ended up making the play, dude. I told you, it's either going to be the disarm play with the Stormbolts, or it's going to be the raw pressure out of Max. It looks like the raw damage and pressure and healing out of Max just wasn't enough. The Panda Racial came in clutch. If he had disarm for it, I think it would have been good. But maybe Max looked at the enemy team with a mage and a couple monks and a paladin and thought maybe reflect might be really good against a hammer of justice, and maybe that's where it came down to. While Growl looked at the enemy team and was like, a lot of melee and one caster, maybe this arm might be worth. Cheap shot onto Growl. Looks like Den is just trying to see if he can dent Growl a little bit. Just let the dots do work and just kind of AFK around the guy. He is going to let the dots do work with the Crucible. Growl is going to have to go for a heal himself. He really needs those Underrot Trinket procs right now, if possible. Is going to get the Rogue out in stealth into a Stormbolt right after. Growl barely has any health. Blind onto that Enraged Regeneration. That's very unfortunate. Dennis looking to catch himself a reset. Did he just DR his own stun though? The Rogue might have actually DR'd his own stun. So that's going to make it harder for him to get a really good setup. He's going to get saps at least. Growl might be able to find him. Kidder shot to follow it. No DR this time. Growl's going to take a bit of damage. Underrot Trinket proccing, doing quite a bit of healing. Does get a charge off of the Rogue, so that should be a good heal. Then actually goes for evasion. And he does tell the dots tick down on Growl. It looks like Subsy wants to give him the honor though. He's like, yo, I just want you to know who you're doing. Hey, how's it going? Dennis still getting the sap with the guy. I guess it doesn't matter. He was gotten sap either way. Ooh, shot a step, get the shot, but actually Subs dips out into the platform a little bit. That actually would have been a really good setup by Den. I thought for a second, like, why don't you get Road and just run away? But that was an interesting choice. Den, no longer with an evasion, though, is going to sprint out of those Fists of Fury, getting a Crucible right at Subsy right after. Wall coming out for Subsy. Might just go for a big damage on the Den. He does have a vanish if things don't really go bad. Evasion, no available. Is going to be disarmed. Karma does vanish it. Touch of Death does get eaten away while vanishes up. Subsy actually barely any health available. Mally rolling on the guy. The dots could end him. Go Road, stop at Subsy. Get a shot to follow. He trinkets out of it. Fist of Furies. He might just die to dots either way. Subsy does go down. Wow, that was quick. That was really quick. That's some good Rogue dot damage right there. Who's up next? RC, Veru, MC, BM. Looks like they're just setting. They're like setting. Looks like they're waiting for RC. Yeah, you're next, I guess. I'm guessing. The other guy's kind of sad. They're like, not me. Nah, not me either. Is Den? Soul inhale for Subsy. Just trying to take another soul of a monk to verse another monk. Is he going to do the same thing? Garrote and then run off? Oh, he's actually going to go for a cheap shot into a Kinder shot right after. Crucibles to follow. That's quite a bit of damage, though. That's actually quite a good opener. I'm taking notes here, boys. I think your Assassination Rogue should be taken too. That's some Russian strats, dude. That's some Russian strats. Still get the cheap shot. Don't do the full kidney shot. Might as well get more stun value, and you'll still get the dot. That's going to be a touch of death onto Den right now, but RC wasn't able to cop out a lot of damage onto it. So touch of death was going to do quite a damage, but not nearly as much, and not going to be nearly as detrimental as it could be. Evasion up for Den right now. RC does get himself the diffuse magic, but kidney shot still might be bad for him. Blind onto the trinket. Oh my god, Den was just trying to wait out for that trinket the whole time. As he goes for that full setup with a cheap shot, full kidney shot, I think that might be it, dude. He's even going for that first A just to prepare for the next duel. As long as RC does not get a heal, does get a dot, cheap shot to follow, is going to get some damage in. Mark for that kidney shot. Is that going to be enough damage? RC does have a karma. He needs to use that karma immediately. He's actually going to die to the dots. He actually dies to the dots. Oh my god, hiding from the karma. The dots for Den are actually doing pretty well. Very well done. I don't really see a lot of Assassination Rogue playing the dot game. I mean, I guess it's not really built for dots. It's just playing a safe game more than anything. But the dots really are doing work. He's letting the dots stick out. It is a 45% dampening game, however. So it is one of the longer games that we've seen because of the Fury Warrior double wombo combo scramble. So it is going to be a little bit tough for everybody else to survive, since he's probably going to get a full Rupture, full Garrote, full everything. Getting a shot onto Beru. Beru is just, I mean, look at him. He's literally in the opener melted to half health. Even less right now. He's literally melting these guys. Maybe he has a lot of mastery in his gear. Or maybe it is a dot-based build, but he really is actually putting a lot of pressure on these guys. Maybe a triple shrouded suffocation build or something like that, but he's just waiting in stealth. Is that what he's going to do as a rogue? Just open up, put the dots, and just slink away in stealth? He just might. He might just have to play it like that. I mean, those dots are actually melting. He's gonna force the other person to use trinkets and garrotes and everything. Kidney shot in the opener. Actually gonna force a trinket out of Baroom. Den does not have an opener or trinket to counter it. War stop to fall. Lots of damage out of this paladin right now. Den does have his safety trinket proccing. Gonna be Shield of Vengeance right now for Baru. Does force him to share Shield of Vengeance while Cloaker Shot is running. Mally was rolling onto Baru. Den might just have to vanish out of this, and he does. Baru actually out of a bubble, out of Shield of Vengeance, out of trinket. He forced everything out of Baru, and the next setup, he actually might be done for the count and trying to go for first aid so Baru doesn't sit in stealth or just doesn't sit and just get himself fully healed the whole time. Sapping the paladin. Baru does have a bop, so if Den could just do the most amount of damage with all the dots in the world and just dot him up, let him rot from the get-go, he might be able to have him get another venom, making sure that Baru does not even get a global to do anything. That was dirty. Alrighty, BM Mage is up next. Starting off with an Invis. Might want to pick up Eyes. No? Maybe not. I feel like Den might just have the easiest time here. So far, he's just let the dodge do work, and he faced against BM before. You can kind of see the BM is backpedaling a little bit. The backpedal should probably give you a little bit of extra information that maybe we see the caliber of mages is, but maybe BM might stand a chance, man. It is an assassination rogue. But they only have Shadow Step. That's all they have. If BM gets hit with a dot. I wonder if Den swapped to Deadly Poison with this high dampening. That might be why he's doing so much dot damage. And Dan is just building up combo points for free from BM. Forced him trying to get him to blink around the corner. Oh boy. BM could blink back if he wanted to. Looks like he's lagging a little bit. Garou does establish by Den. He's still building combo points. Trinket coming up for BM to get out of that silence. And then is having to use Crucibles defensively. Kidney shot onto BM. Could go for a Trinket. No, Trinket available actually. Is gonna ice block. So Den forced out that ice block fairly easily. Blind to follow. That's it, dude. It's game. It's game. Den, just put some dots and let him rot, man. That's all you gotta say to him. Put some dots and let him rot. Oh my god, look at that dude. What is that? Taking a screenshot, taking a selfie with BM. Put some dots and let him rot, man. Leave the boy alone. Mally to follow. Yeah, he got nothing. Mark for the kidney shot. He's actually just gonna end it. He's gonna be that cloak of shadows just to make sure. Banish Garou. Dude, that's just BM. But the dots are good. He actually went for a big old 1v5. I didn't even realize that. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. I actually kind of enjoyed the dot play style, not gonna lie. It's a little different, but I kind of like that. That was BM. That was BM. Yeah, that was so BM. 100%. Alright, let's get another one going, boys. Let's get another setup going, please. Here we go. Alex, 5 out of 5 ready. Night Raven still in queue. Laska, didn't they just get to play? Or was that? Yeah, Laska just got to play. I think Nerf Lucio still got to play, right? Let's get Night Raven and Nerf Lucio, because they've been waiting. Looks like Nerf Lucio is no longer as a group. So we're going to get Alex then instead. And then Kryza still wants to play. So we'll probably get Kryza versus Laska. I'll get them dueling one another. One of the greatest Russian rogues I have stalking me non-stop in AV. He's one of the Russian rogues I have stalking me, yeah? Well, dude, he does a good job, man. How many people to this day really play a rogue to like the full caliber, right? Stalking their targets, being in stealth the whole time, sneaky, beaky, deaky, you know what I mean? You never really see that happen anymore, right? You never really see that happen anymore. How do I join, Professor? Join one of the groups in LFG, man. Join one of the groups in LFG. Is that easy? Is that easy? I got a question. Is Matasawa streaming, by the way? Is Maddie streaming right now? Because if he's going to be out and going duels, boys, I want you guys to come over. Matasawa. What? Matasawa. That's what it is. Is he live right now? Doesn't look like he is streaming. Oh. Song. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're streaming, I wanted to send you guys over there to give him words of encouragement. In case he's going first this time. You know what I mean? But either way, switch. We're going to see ourselves with Christina going back on the good old Feral. Christina hasn't played Feral in a bit. Let's got Lukey Bob here as what looks like another Feral droid. We got us as Raidemus. We got us as Rimuru. We got us as Bin Laden in here. The thought that got me, but he snuck away. You can't catch Bin. We also got Canny on Team Red Fortune as Windwalker going up first. Getting opened up on Judah in the back. Mati and Team Mikush. We got Fortune getting hit with an incap. As Christina going for some damage here. Fortune is going to try to see if he can reverse a leg sweep. Trinket for Christina immediately. Locked down in a Fist of Fury. And actually, Fortune stops at Fist of Fury for a second just to get more damage to Christina. Like the images are already channeling Fist of Fury. They're already doing quite a bit of damage, but Fortune was able to swap around and do some more damage from other abilities. And that's going to be Thorns up and around for Casino. Fortune bails out of it for a second. Actually, we did not just see Fortune roll into the wall. We did not see him just bunk his head. Casino, whoa. I forgot you were Worgen. I want to see the cast animation of Worgen because it looks so good compared to the old one. The old one was really sketchy. Fortune, though, I think he actually tried to go for a full setup under Christina with a health trinket and everything. He did use wall, so I think he tried it. Trinket coming out for Fortune immediately before Christina is able to get the dots up and running. Fortune trying to punch the Feral for even opening on him. Being a human, though, he does have that advantage of just being able to get some damage. Cyclotronic coming out for Christina from far away. Actually doing quite a bit of damage to Fortune. Very, very unlucky for Fortune there. Does land the rake opener, but that ring of peace is not going to let Christina really get the damage up and running. Christina maybe get a bit of dots rolling. Fortune landing a touch of death into Christina. Probably going to have a leg sweep with this as well. Christina with no answer. Might be able to wall this out. Huge damage. Might Fortune maybe? Oh my god. I was going to say maybe Fortune might be able to end this, but then my mouth just stopped working and my brain blew up with just how much damage was happening on screen. And all that could translate into a wow! Oh no, Caddy, come on! Let him sleep peacefully. Come on, Christina, you tried your hardest. You tried your best, okay? Don't let anybody that tells you otherwise. Bin Laden opening up his huge sub-rogue damage. Fortune not looking all that health anymore. Fortune might have a human racial a little bit later. Going to be shot step for Bin Laden. I think trying to see if he can get a Vivify interrupt onto Fortune is going to go for a little bit of a ring of peace. Bin Laden might be able to land a sap. He does land a sap around the corner. If Fortune does not play this next opener right, he might be down for the count here. He might be down for the count. Bin Laden got quite huge damage as sub-rogue, so Fortune better be aware. If he places the defensive properly, though, he might be fine. Kidney shot onto Fortune, as Bin Laden is going to try to see if he can get some damage set up. Fortune actually trinkets halfway through that kidney shot, interrupting Bin Laden's opener is going to go back to those cheap shots, as Bin Laden himself is also going to get a trinket out. Trying to see if he can force every cooldown on Fortune. That is going to be a wall right here. Next, Bin could actually go for a reset. Fortune needs to go for healing, is going to disconnect and go to the other side of the pillar, spam and vivify as much as he can, making sure he's as healthy as it can be. He is going to put his main trinket on cooldown, however, by using human racial. Is going to try to see if he can use the ring of peace to boop him out of the way. Bin Laden is perfectly okay with that. Gonna shot into Fortune. Does Bin have any damage to follow up here? Does he have any big pressure? Is going to get a cheap shot. Big eviscerates. Another cheap shot maybe. Does get hit with a disarm. Fortune pumping up his health. Might be able to go for big damage here onto Fortune. No! Shadow stepping past Fortune to get behind the pillar. Fortune is going to go Vivify, spamming as much as he can while he's got it. Trying to AoE Bin in case. So Fortune is going to have a trinket available sometime soonish, but if he does not trinket the first opener, it's because his trinket is still technical on CD. There is a 1.5 min CD between using human racial and normal trinket. So Fortune just simply does not have a trinket, even though he looks like he does. Getting a shot onto Fortune. Bin did quite a bit of damage. Touch of Death is going to come out. Bin, it might be a pretty bad situation to be in. No trinket available for Bin. The Touch of Death might take before he can vanish it. Does he get to? He does not get to vanish it. The Touch of Death did take down for quite a lot. And Fortune, that was a nice setup with an incap. Touch of Death. I think Touch of Death, then incap, or incap and Touch of Death while you're not facing the enemy, and then get a leg sweep, because by the time you're done with your burst and by the time leg sweep is over, that Touch of Death is directly going to tick. Bin coming back in. He does have himself a little bit of health. He doesn't wait until he's fully healed up to full. Cheap shot. Blood of the enemy to Fortune. He's going to give another cheap shot. Big eviscerate. Maybe another big eviscerate. Karma does come out for Fortune immediately. And I think Bin trying to get as much damage through the Karma. I think he was just trying to cloak the shadows and burn through a Karma. ASAP getting hit with the disarm as he does get a blind onto Fortune. Does he go for Shadow Meld? Shadow Meld south? No, he does not. He actually backstabs him. Actually stands next to him and backstabs him like a champ. He's just like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Looks like Ben was having a bit of a hard time resetting. Does get a sap of the Fortune, but he's back on full health. Can Ben come back from this? Fortune should have a trinket for this one. It does have a wall as well. Can Ben come back from this at all? I don't know if he'll be able to. Can shot into Fortune. Does he trinket it? He does not. Ben is just trying to get as much eviscerate damage as possible, but is actually going to try to see if he can peel away from Fortune in the last second. Leg sweep does come out. Is going to trinket out of it. Fist of Fury past Fortune, but doesn't really get to go all that far. Big health increase by Bin Laden right now. It says how much to go for a little bit extra health increase. Wall up and running for Fortune. That's going to be a lot of damage. Ben trying to generate at least some combo points. He's in a pretty bad spot. Cheap shot onto Fortune. He's going to maybe try to see if he can reverse some damage. Another cheap shot. Does he get to escape from him? I think he does not, unless he has a Shadow Meld. Down he goes. Tried his best, tried his hardest. Didn't want to play the long game with the guy. But Fortune was just unable to be... Well, Fortune was not going to go down, I guess, is what I was trying to say. I guess a sub-row can't really do anything to a monk, especially if you're running Conflict and Strive. The extra versatility you get, and the fact that versatility doubles every time you hit it with a kidney shot, does actually give Fortune quite a bit of tankiness to it. Normally, I would think that Fortune would actually go down, because the first opener by Ben was incredibly strong, but then from there, it's just like, okay, as long as I rotate my cooldowns, and as long as I punish this rogue every time I see him out, Hit him with a big old touch of death to keep him low. That's going to be huge. Rimuru is up next as the Fury Warrior trying to see if he can tussle with the muscle that is Fortune. Fortune proved himself to be quite a comparable foe. Going to be a bit of a port away from Fortune with a Ring of Peace, not letting Rimuru get back around the corner as he gets any kind of damage. Unfortunately, looking for the full Vivify spam recovery. Touch of death onto Rimuru. Might want to consider popping himself a defensive. He's just gonna Blaze Storm out of there, letting the image just gotta beat up on him. And might go for extra defensive. He did pop himself Commanding Shout, which sometimes is considered defensive, but not always, I guess. And Fortune getting back right in there while Rimuru's health is low. He could go for a massive Enrage Regeneration. Fortune popping a wall right here just to tussle with him for a bit. He had him with a disarm, but he's still going to do a majority of the damage. He's going to get a disarm from Rimuru, not let him get any heals in case Rimuru was going to go for a big heal. That's going to be Fist of Fury right now, and Rimuru still might be able to get himself quite a bit of healing off of that Enrage Regeneration. Does he get to charge? Does go for through a Ring of Peace. Still is going to get himself at least one big Bloodthirst heal. But I don't know if he's really got anything after that. Rimuru is still super low on health. He didn't really get the most recovery with that Enrage Regeneration. Fist of Fury trying to lock him down. He does a big leap away, just yeeting himself out of the room into a big old charge onto Fortune, but a leg sweep to meet him on the way. I think he might be down for the count. Next, Fist of Fury is going to lock him down. That's going to be it. Doesn't even need it. Just a big old Rising Sun kick is good enough for Fortune. Unlucky Bob is up next. Is going to try to see if he can get an open onto Fortune. He does pick up the eyes. That's going to be trying to get some bleeds, some bites onto Fortune, but he's just going to pressure him down with a Fist of Fury and not letting him get any damage out. Fortune's still going to take quite a bit of dot damage in the opener, though. That must have been like a double or a single Crucible that just did a bunch of damage. Because that was quite a hard hitter. Quite a hard hitter. So for Lucky, this is going to be kind of a game where he could wait on to dampening, or he could try to see if he can get through Fortune's cooldowns. Fortune should have some of his trinkets coming. No, actually, no. He's actually down on all trinkets. Well, he has potentially his Karma, and he's having to go for Karma here early. Lucky Bob with the Thorns, allowing Fortune to get all the Thorns damage reverts back to him. Is that a good idea? Fortune got himself quite a bit of health recovery from that Karma. Good Karma talent is giving him quite a huge value right now, honestly. Vivifies are going out back to back. Lucky Bob is not looking all that good. Looking to get himself maybe a reset. No trick available for Lucky Bob. So next Touch of Death from Fortune could be quite huge. The whole Touch of Death in-cap wombo combo is going to get a Touch of Death. In-cap to follow, pumping out his own health. Is going to get the images. Lexi to follow. Lucky Bob might just die here in a single Touch of Death. Getting super close. Safety Trick does come out. Whirling Dragon Punch keeps it super low. Is going to wall right now. Does not have any kind of renewals. Badge to Fortune is desperate to try to get away from the mug. And Vivify spam is coming out for Fortune immediately. Lucky Bob goes into tree form for a second. Needs to get himself regrowth immediately. But that was quite a big hit. Safety, if that Safety Trinket was not there, or if it was higher into dampening, that Safety Trinket would have done nothing for Lucky. And Fist of Fury is going to lock him out for a second. Does he have any damage to really keep Fortune on the ropes? No. Looks like he's trying to see if he can get away. Less Swiftman coming out. That's going to be Ring of Peace as well. Booping him out of the way, and Fortune taking yet another one out. And an instant port away before Radimus can get any pressure, any opener, anything. That is a Draenei Retribution Paladin versus Fortune at the 9-minute. What? Radimus. I guess Kenny shouldn't be out in the open in the first place, yeah? Yeah, Kenny gets slapped, man. I mean, Radimus is kind of your Hodge is done. You're not going to be able to get a Hodge for Fortune, which kind of sucks. But I guess Kenny shouldn't be out in the open, dude. Kenny. That's another Paladin we see with a Meme Beam. What is going on? Are all Paladins rolling Meme Beam nowadays? Bop? What is Radimus doing? Radimus! What is that bop? I don't understand. He tried to Meme Beam him through the wall, which doesn't work, by the way. He bopped while... Oh my goodness, Radimus, my man. He's just not prepared, dude. This man just came from, like, pet battles, and someone was like, yo, jump into this arena right now. And this man's like, oh, I have no idea what's going on. Radimus, my man, just had the worst time of his life. I'm so sorry, buddy. Hope you have a better day from now on, but Fortune got him clapped out pretty easily, and down goes Venruki. Alrighty, big old 1v5 for Fortune was pretty fairly easily. Here's the holy boss. Yeah, he is the holy boss. Vital, I'm gonna hit decline because I'm doing like the queues or whatever. I can't queue from other groups, man. Alright, let's get at least one more going, yeah? I want a selfie, but no. Stop with your selfies, man. Cut it out. If you run out and somebody starts beating you up while you're trying to get a selfie, that's on you. You're not allowed to fight them. If somebody just jumps you while you're trying to get a selfie, you're not allowed. Stay on your side of the arena. It gets confusing when you have so many people running. That guy, Radimus, just get confused. For instance, he thought, oh wait, am I fighting the mage? Am I fighting the monk? That man was not paying attention. What's up, Enrico, my man? How do I join the groups then? LFG, man. You go to LFG. I guess I didn't really go over today. Okay, so if you guys ever want to join any of the LFG groups, this applies for any time we do duels. So please, right now would be a good time to record the live stream. If you wanted to rip the live stream and record a portion of it, this would be the perfect time to do it. So how to join any of the duels when we're doing 5v5s on EU or NA? You go to PvP, player versus player. Beautiful, right? Oh, arena skirmish. Oh, that's looking kind of cool. I got some Sabatoons I can get. Premier group, custom PvP. Find a group. Type 5. Enter with your Horde or Alliance. As long as you're in the right region. Today will be EU. So EU, NA, EU, Horde and Alliance would work. NA wouldn't work. Type in 5 in custom. Enter, because people will call the group something like 5v5 If you don't see one, you can start a group. Call it 5v5 1v1 duels. As long as you have the number and letters 5v5 in there. As long as you have 5v5 in your name, the most people should be able to find you easily. That's all you do. You get a group, get a couple of people, make it a group for a moment. Lunatic, yo, Lunatic, I think it would be easier for you to just get to join somebody else's group, man. I think it would be easier for you to join someone else's group. Alright, so Night Raven got to play him. Laska. I guess we get Laska versus Chrysler, yeah? Angry rat noises, what the hell was that? I must be dreaming, say good night, good night. Alright, I appreciate you coming by, man. Under plus rate trinket for healing is so disgusting. Is that what he was running? Is that what Floater was running? It does a lot of healing. I'm not gonna take you away from it, but yeah. Name of the group $5 EU Alliance. Awesome, awesome. You're gonna get another one going for now then. I miss the old good old Lich King PvP. Wrath of Lich King PvP? I've never played it. Don't know what that's like. But Kenny on a leash? Yeah, Kenny does run around all over the place, man. Oh my god, Team Red is spooky scary. Literally, there's so many warlocks. Oh my god, Team Casters. Wait, Team Casters, that's so cool. I wonder how well they'll do. My upper lip itches. Always like just put the upper lip in my mouth and just kind of itch it with my teeth. Does anybody else do that? I feel like I look like a Neanderthal because it's like, but it's like comfortable. Just me? Am I a weird one here, boys? Alrighty, we got ourselves another duel. Switch. We got a Team Casters, Team Warlock Crusaders with Chrysler, Obliv as a mage. We got ourselves Olag as another warlock. We got Shadow Soul as a Shadow Priest. And we got Spooky Scary. Looking very spooky, very scary. It'd be hilarious if Olag was like Affliction. Oh no, Destruction. It'd be hilarious if one of them was Affliction. We have Demo, Affliction, Arcane, and like Shadow. But we got the Coven versus Russians with Vital. We got ourselves Val. We got ourselves Den. We got ourselves Max. We got ourselves Shadow. Shadow actually works. Shadowpuz, I guess is the name, but it's gonna be Shadow versus Oleg. Is gonna get a Cataclysm around the corner. Shadow Mitsu coming out for Shadow for a moment, and Oleg trying to see if he can land in fear, but Shadow is kind of just hiding around the corner. He got himself quite a good position. Oleg trying to stay out in the open, trying to see if he can get a banish and a Mindbender, but it looks like it's not gonna happen. Shadow taking quite a bit of damage while he's out in the open though. Oleg dropping down the massive Infernal. He doesn't really care about this game that Shadow wants to play. He doesn't really want to play the long-term setup. He'd rather just get in and obliterate Shadow. Oleg, however, by the way, is going to be a Warlock on the Horde side as well that also plays a very proc-based playstyle. He actually might be really good. Siphon hitting Oleg right now is actually getting some big damage to Shadow. And Shadow might just have to go up some defenses right now. Chaosball does not connect though. Line of sight does not get broken. And Shadow does get smacked by it with a safety shrink coming out. Actually, Oleg could use the pet to take away that safety shrink is stun onto Oleg right now. Trying to get a Chaosball up and running. Shadow looking to line of sight it. So far, the Shadow Priest has been on the back foot. Oleg looking quite healthy, but a lot of his offensive damage is for the most part gone. Shadow better have some defenses available or some CC. Getting a silence into Oleg, going for the Shadow Mans, but it's going to get interrupted. Is going to be able to at least get himself a little bit of a shield rolling here and there. Can he go for Mind Control while he's interrupted on Shadow, or is that a holy spell? I think it might be. He's trying to come out for Oleg. Shadow is going to trick it out of that horror effect. They'll banish onto the Mindbender, and Oleg getting hit with a Siphon. Might want to kill that Siphon immediately, while Shadow is actually able to do quite a bit of damage. Mally onto Oleg. Not going to give him a lot of opportunity for Self-Heal. Wait, was that Mally even? Did that even happen? Or is that maybe a Void Bolt? I think it might have been just a Void Bolt, boys. Oleg getting some damage onto Shadow, but he does have Disperse available. Oleg, not really looking all that good, though. I swear to God, I thought it was a Mally. Maybe Execute's available for Shadow. Does go for Greater Fate. Execute's coming out. Greater Fate and all those fears. Oleg leaves. Oleg actually leaves from the Shadow Man. The Shadow Man is going to be the Shadow Fan, dude. Alright, first kill for Shadow, and he's basically at full health. And Shadow's soul. Actually, we got Shadow versus Shadow. We got Shadow versus Shadow. This is actually the worst. This is actually the worst. They're both names of Shadow. One in Russian, one in English. So that's the worst. But it looks like the Panda is going to go for a little bit of a Mally. It's going to force the Undead Priest to go for a Massive Spell. Massive Spell and the Mally completely does force him into a little bit of CC. He does get hit with a horror effect. But at least he doesn't have to worry about the Maledict for later. The Undead Priest might be able to get a Maledict of his own. The Panda sneaking up for a corner for a second. It's going to get hit with a Silence instead into a stun. He trick inside him, he get in fear onto the Undead. And it's going to go for a little bit of a, maybe a Siphon setup. Looks like he set up a Siphon or so. But the Undead Priest is able to bail out of the Team Red Priest. Red Priest is looking to maybe get a little bit of mobility with a mount up. Looking to maybe get a big setup. That's a nice Gladiator mount you got there. Blue Priest is bailing out of there for a second, trinking it out of the stun. But he's still playing very defensive, still trying to get himself a reset. The dots, however, are quite brutal. The Siphon is going to commit so much damage on him. He's going to get himself a Warlock Hellstone for a second. Siphon there to meet him yet again. And the Red Priest is going to get hit with a few for a second as he has himself Vampiric Embrace. The Panda, dude. The Panda Priest is actually doing so much work. Silence onto Panda Priest, though, where the Undead Blue Priest is going for a bit of damage himself, but both of them are kind of behind line of sight. It's really hard to see them really going for full committed damage. Looks like they kind of poking at each other. But the Undead Priest at least had an Underrod Trinket set up onto the Red Priest. Red Priest, Blue Priest. I think we'll do Red Priest, Blue Priest. Blue and Red. Let's do that. Blue not really looking all that good. Looking a little bit blue right now. Red looking to push up. Getting that stun. First is going to get the VTs up and running. Giz going to go for that line of sight play. Blue is going to get a Siphon. Siphon does get to do some damage to Red, actually. Mind Blast coming out. It's going to be a full Mind Blast. Red does get to kill the Siphon. That's going to be Red's Mindbender running onto Blue with a Silence to follow, forcing out a Disperse right now. Blue is not looking all that good, while Red still has every defensive he needs in order to continue with this duel. That Siphon for Red is still getting so much value. Blue needs to make a play right now. Getting a fear onto Red is going to get some dots. Mind Blast to follow. Neither of them have a Silence right now. They're just trying to reverse the damage on each other. Mindbender for Blue coming out, but Red does go for a Greater Fade. That's going to be Silence on the Red. Massive Spell coming out for Blue, but it's going to put himself into a little bit of CC right after, which Red is just going to abuse right now. A stun onto Blue. Blue doesn't have anything left except for Empirical Base. Safety Trick can get a proc, but it's actually going to get dispelled immediately. And Blue's going to have to go for a little bit of a self-heal. Red still very dominant in his position. 5 minutes into this duel, 2% dampening. Blue try to go for a bit of a Greater Fade, try to see if he can use that to mobility, maybe force some defensives or some CC out of Red. Maybe like a Silence to dodge into that Greater, or maybe a stun to dodge into that Greater. But I don't think, someone told me he didn't really get any kind of CC out of him. I feel like Red is going to come in with a Silence and everything. Either way. Blue is definitely behind. No defensive available. Trinket is the only thing he has. Red, however, has every defensive available. All he needs to do is catch up to Blue, but both of them are just playing the Mount Ring around the Rosie. Stun by Red. Blue is going to push up. Stun on to Red. Red is actually going to Trinket and silence Blue. Siphon up for Red right now. He has a lot of damage rolling. The Mindbender and the Siphon getting killed. He's going to go for Massive Spell to take the dots off of him, and Red is just going to get those dots reset up. So far, Blue has been playing defensively the whole time. Did get himself a Greater Fade. And Red is going to push up while Void Form is running. Doing quite a lot of damage though with Void Bolts. Blue might just have to go for self-heals. He does have himself Disperse. Red still very dominant right now. Disperse coming out for blue a little bit early just to get himself as much healing as he can before he really goes into a high dampening. Mind control out of red for a second. And blue is just going to go for a bit more healing behind the pillar. Red is just doing fine right now, but he hasn't really been able to score a kill. He hasn't really been able to get himself in that position yet. He is keeping blue completely out of cooldowns, but he does not have the kill potential either way. That's a shadow piece for you, man. I think I'll let you go for a haste versatility build. Panda Racial coming out for red onto blue with a stun to follow is going to get some mass CC, some mass value into silence right after. Blue does go for a siphon. The siphon for blue gets killed. Mallow rolling onto blue. He's going to go for a Mazzle spell, which puts himself in more CC chains. Shadow, or the red. Shadow the red. You got to get hit with a fear for a second, but he's still doing just fine. He got himself that full setup with greater fade to dodge any damage out of blue. And Vampiric Base to keep himself afloat. So Shadow Red is the Shadow Priest winner out of those two. That was the weirdest thing. It was the longest duel ever. It's two Shadow Priests. How does that ever happen? But Shadow now, the one and only Shadow, is gonna have to go versus Max. Disperse coming out for him immediately. Needs to bail out of there right now. Max try to see if he can catch up to Shadow. Is going to hit him with the melee though. Is going to get a stun. Trinkets out of it immediately. And Shadow is still not looking all that good. Does get a siphon onto Max. He kills it immediately. Is going to give himself the Bloodthirst to get the mobility rolling. So he's not going to get slowed. Does a reflect for a second. Shadow is going to be in a bad situation. Does have a trinket. Also Greater Fate is available. Is going to Greater Fate to bail away from Max for a second. Mind controlling him. Probably going to throw him down off of the platform. Yep, exactly what he needs to do. He needs to put him out in the open. Maybe a stun right after. Does he have a stun to follow? Is going to keep him out in the open for as long as humanly possible. He could leap right back up though. He is going to leap right back up. Shadow is forced to jump down. He's going to get charged and an intercept. And Shadow is not looking all that good anymore. Very much in execute range. Reflect coming out, but Max looks like it's not a lot he can really do about it. Does get reflected, but Blazer comes out. Oh no. Gladiator Shadow lol. Shadow Zol goes down for the count. I really like that we have so many Shadow Priests here, but that's just... It made him feel like one Shadow Priest is so powerful, so demanding, so strong, but as soon as he faces against any warrior, that's it. Falls over, dude. Falls over. Chrysler having to go versus Max right now, using the Panda Racial as well as he can. Does get a bit of CC onto Chrysler. Looking to actually land himself a little bit of line of sight. Chrysler goes for a stun in front of him, expecting for Max to charge him, but he doesn't. Looks like Max is just going to take that Infernal and run him around the corner until he can get some charge heals off of Chrysler. Is going to get Zerker Rage out of that fear. Going to let the fear go through him. Zerker Rage, not Berserker, thinking Chrysler got a full fear. Zerker interrupt him immediately. Did have reflect for a second. Cataclysm is still going to connect. Horror Effect is going to keep Max out in the open. Didn't really run too far. Fear to follow. No Zerker Rage for this one. Chrysler is going to be able to get quite a bit of Caswell damage out of this. Max sleeping on top of Chrysler, not wanting to use his pummel. For fear, decided, you know what, I'm still going to get hit by that fear. Is going to go for Enrage Agendum. Quite a bit of heal though. Quite a bit of healing off of this. With Reflex, stopping Chrysler from being able to really get a lot of damage. Probably should be saving this Reflex for big Casbolts. But either way, it's going to work. Mallow onto Chrysler. Is Max going to be able to go for big damage right here? Maybe Zerker's out of that fear. Does get a trinket out of that fear, actually. And Chrysler is pressured for quite a bit. Say it's going to be succubus CC onto Max for a second. Max needs to min-max the damage here. But I think Chrysler might be able to wait it long enough where you'll have the horror effect out and everything. Good Blaze Storm by Max for a second. Does cancel Blaze Storm to try to interrupt Chrysler, and he misses the interrupt. Into a horror effect of the Max. Double Casbolt for Chrysler. Does go for Reflect, which simply stops Chrysler from casting. Fear into Chrysler while Wall is up and running. Is going to go for another Casbolt. No Reflect available for Max this time. Chrysler is going to at least be able to establish some of the damage, but Max is doing just fine on health right now. Fear trying to come out onto the Warrior. He does get a juke away from it. Does try to go for Zerker Rage late on that Fear to try to see if he can interrupt the Casbolt. Chrysler does juke it, but I don't think it matters anymore. Max has got so much headway on Chrysler. The executes are happening. Actually almost dodging that Cataclysm too. Casbolt's trying to come out. Does Reflect. I think Chrysler has nothing here left. Oh my goodness. Max is slamming through these castles like it's nothing. Damn, man. Spooky Scary is up next as the Demonology Warlock is going to have to get himself Handle done. Stunned by the pet coming out. It's going to get himself Guardian of Azeroth Horror Effect to follow. It does get a Demonic Tyrant. Is that a random Tyrant or is that a real one? Going to be a Mally rolling onto Max, which now he's going to have to get a lot of healing. But I think the pets are just going to slam him down, and Spooky Scary does take him out. The one warrior that took down so many casters. The only thing that could beat him is Spooky Scary with all the spells that do some melee, some magic damage, some whatever. I think it's the Guardian of Azeroth really ended up being the play though. Vital is gonna be back there with a pet from Spooky. He's gonna just try to see if he can banish it for a bit. Vital, I believe, is playing Destruction Warlock. I believe it'd be weird if it was Affliction or something like that. Although it would be really cool if he was, but he probably isn't because Destruction is that much better. What is that weapon, by the way? What is that weapon? It's WAD, isn't it? I think it's WAD. If it looks janky, I usually say it's WAD, but it looks kind of cool. Drain life onto one pet, banish on the other, and Spooky actually able to summon random pets from time to time, trying to get some hand cooldowns off of the pet of the Russian Warlock Vital. It's just gonna generate a bunch of imps, honestly, off of it. Might as well, right? And Vital sending himself up a gateway in case he wants to back up or push in. Gonna get an interrupt onto Spooky Scary, I think on Demon Bolt or a Hand of Gul'dan, which is gonna lock him out on Demon Cast into a Horror Effect onto Vital. Spooky Scary might be able to get himself quite a bit of damage here. Banish coming out onto the pet yet again. Isn't that thing fully DR by now? I would think that thing would be fully DR'd. Spooky Scary just trying to let the pets do a lot of the work. 45% dampening. Eventually, Vital is gonna start really feel the pressure. Spooky should be good to go though, for the most part. Because Vital, I mean, he's supposed doing some damage, but not nearly as much. But all the Fel Guards and all those dogs and all this everything on Vital, it's going to be a little bit of pressure. It's going to be getting himself a little bit of a reflect in case it's going to be maybe a Horror Effect or anything. Does drop down Infernal and swapping out for Shavara Pet instead. Just wants to Vital get some kind of CC chain onto Spooky Scary just to lock him down for a second. Horror Effect coming out. He's going to get a banish onto the Infernal though. Horror Effect I think is going to come out onto Spooky or Vital. Another Horde, one another. Might have been a Reflect. Wall coming up for Spooky Scary as it just chain spam, fearing Vital. Might be able to get himself some pets up and running, but that Succubus is going to stop him in place for a second. Stun into Vital, and Spooky bails out of there for a second. Still kiting that Infernal. Infernal is down for the count. Vital is going to get another banish onto the pet. He's going to get himself a little bit of drain life. At 34% dampening though, that drain life does very, very little healing. Very, very little healing. Maybe they have like a trait where every time they fear, the leech becomes a lot higher for drain life. If that is true, that'd be quite good for them. Vital might want to be popping fears into drain lives. So actually, never mind. You know how I said Spooky Scary looks like would be the guy in advantage with any kind of damage where he can't reach Vital? It looks like Spooky Scary is actually the one dying to Vital's pressure, just passive pressure. It's not like there was a lot of like immolates or anything like that. Just I think the pet does so much damage. Demonic Tyrant coming out for Spooky Scary. Vital trying to get some cannonballs rolling onto him. That was looks like a random tyrant, not a real tyrant. Vital locked out for a second for a bit, I think, on shadow damage. But now that he's surrounded by the pets, that's going to be Guardian of Azeroth. Maybe now Spooky Scary might be able to get some real spooky and really scary damage. Vital did have himself a little bit of Reflect for a second, but now he's surrounded by all those pets. Guardian of Azeroth doing quite a bit of damage. You might want to banish the Guardian. I think he does, actually. Into a stun onto Vital, no way out of it. I think he's going to be down for the count. Does get a Succubus C onto Spooky Scary. Vital still trying to get those Chaos Bolts up and running. Shadow Fury after getting interrupted on it. Chaos Bolts not happening. Trying to get himself a little bit extra help with the Battle Master's Trinket. Barely any health left. Banish onto the pet. Into Horror Effect by Spooky. Banish onto Succubus. I feel like one of them could have ended the game like a while ago. Spooky Scary just not poking out at all. Just letting the pets do all the work. No wonder Vital's surviving this thing. He's just Horror Effecting it, dude. He's just slamming it with Death Coils. But Vital's down on health. He's going to go for an Observer. Maybe. He does have Crucible. He's going to go for First Aid. That's going to be random pet summoned by Spooky Scary yet again. If Spooky can just get more Demon Doggers in, he'll be fine. He'll actually be set, won't he? That's going to be one lonely imp on the side. Banish coming out of one of the pets. Succubus to see what the Spooky Scary. Vital with barely any health. Literally one more pet attack, and there he goes. Wow, that was a really, really prolonged duel where neither of the Warlocks really want to fight each other. Well, Spooky Scary didn't want to fight anybody. He just wanted to be way, way out of there, dude. He did not want to be anywhere near nobody. And next up is going to be Den. Tricking it out of the Horror Effect with a Kidney Shot to follow up on the Spooky Scary, but it's going to be very hard. Fear on the Den right now, and Spooky just wants to let the Fears kind of chain for a little bit. And it's going to go for a big old Demonic Gateway. Den is going to take some damage from the pets. Looks like he just wants to get an next Spooky Scary. He got some dots rolling. He might just die to the dots. Crucible? That's it, dude. He barely had any health to begin with. Unlucky. Oblivious is going to be up next on EU. You can go whenever, guy. We are 16 minutes in, 67% dampening with a really weird duel so far, boys. This duel, I think, has been the weirdest one. You know what I mean? Like, it started really exciting with Temple Shadow Priest, and then it was just like spooky, scary, and Vital just like can never connect to one another and really get cast off. It's like a really prolonged game. It's like, what can you say about it? Not a lot. Although taking a lot of damage in the opener there, though. Dan back with those dot-based playstyles, man. I mean, this Bliv can't even get himself a big old blink and a breath, missing it. Dan, though, is out in the open, does get a Garrote into Bliv. He might go for Ice Block here soonish. Dan could go for Smoke Bomb here. Maybe no, actually no instead. But Bliv decided not to go for Greater Power, decided to drop down Meteor instead. But he's not looking all that good. The dots are still wrecking him. Mally to follow onto Bliv. You might have to Ice Block here a little bit early. The dot just might melt you. You're not going to get any cauterize. I think you're dead. Oh. I think the cauterize gave him enough health and Maledict didn't absorb enough of it. And that's the only health he had. Kidney shot, trick inside of it with a breath to follow. Ring of Frost, but you're dead either way, man. Oh, wait, Dark cauterize coming out. So he didn't get cauterize before. Might be able to get enough damage on a Den. Cloaker shot is immediately. Wait. I don't think he even got hit by Greater Pyro. Did you break your own freeze? Because the Greater Pyro should have been the first thing to hit. Oh no, unlucky. I believe could have actually made the biggest play right now. But I think he ended up breaking the freeze with a conflag or fire blast, which gave Dan a global, less than a global enough time to pop a cloak before the Greater Pyro blast connected. Very unfortunate. Wow, that was a weird duel. That was really, really weird. Yeah. A good news, although you can kill someone even faster than DH again, so usually not a problem, but nice to know. Yeah. How you doing, Davey? Hope you're having a good one, man. Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Beat my DH friend, a level of monk, and I'm 100 love playing them BGs. Hell yeah, dude! Let's go, my guy. One new win. Night Raven got a person. Alright, but we'll be able to get him going, man. Might be able to get him going. Well, how many duels are we at now? 98, 99? That'll be the 100, dude. I think we'll make this 100 happen here. Laska's ready, but Laska just got to play. How's it BM 100 PvP? It's not bad at all, actually. I mean, it's kind of weird, but it's doable. Blue wants to one me on the stream. Both fire specs, best out of 3, if you agree with that. You versus Obliv? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, Unholy, a good survival hunter can kite the hell out of you. What do you mean? A good one, yeah, but not a lot of people play survival to begin with, you know what I mean? Bad thing about monks though, that if you need to keep running away and heal every now and then due to the combo being a minute and a half CD, well, monks have always been about hit and run strats, right? They've never really been a spec with a consistent damage uptime. The damage has been good. Every time you burst, it'll always do good damage, but they've always been a hit and run spec. You know what I mean? So it's perfectly normal for the playstyle. Like as a monk, if you're hoping to just stay in combat forever and ever and ever, that might not be the spec for you. Like a Fury Warrior or Unholy DK might be the specs that love just training down targets. You know what I mean? But there's certain specs that are better and designed for the hit and run strats. Like monks are good for that. Rogues for the most part are good for that. Unless you're outlaw, then you kind of want to be hitting things all the time. You do have some downtime to reset, but it's usually better for you just to stay on enemies as long as possible. Feral is also hit and run strats. Some specs are one way or the other. What's up, Dal? Great stream, man. No problem. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Looks like chill for me now. I'm glad you liking it, man. Hello, Habibi. What's up, Todd? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Откуда ты меня знаешь? What? Откуда ты меня знаешь? Руссо турист. Я не знаю. Не знаю это имя. Is all we have is Laska and Night Raven? Is that all we got? Is that everybody on? What, Wipe no longer there? Alex no longer there? Captura? Kreiser? Nobody? Is that it? Не тебе Dalaran? Oh, okay, здорово, хорошо. You meant not me. Survival can't shut down on a Holy DK at all, but it's probably the most fun spec in the game. I don't know, man. I remember old school duels between Dead and Zakati on Holy versus Survival. And it's always a tussle back and forth, right? I feel like a good Survival Hunter will be able to kite the hell out of a DK, yeah. The dot damage, the pet damage, and being able to take off the diseases and heals and CC, you should be able to do pretty well against the DK, but DKs are a wall, right? I feel like a good Survival Hunter will outplay even a good DK, but a bad Survival Hunter will never even outplay a decent DK. You know what I mean? A DK is the wall, and it's up to the Survival Hunter to climb over it. The DK will always be a wall, no matter what kind of DK it is. But a good Survival Hunter should be able to climb over it. It's like climbing Mount Everest, right? And Mount Everest is Mount Everest. Unless you're like a really bad DK and you don't know how to play a class, it's like the only way. As long as you can put out your pets, hit Chain of Ice, get a stuns, hit Transfusion, and hit all your defenses, you should be good for the DK, you know what I mean? So WoW is insane, and kiting on Unholy is one of the slowest in the game, that's true. But Unholy does have dots and does have pet playstyles, and Unholy can kite quite a bit itself as well. But yeah, kites I think would be one of your advantages for Survival Hunter. The big burst damage from a distance with Mongoose Bites would be a huge advantage too if you can really get it rolling. Maledict can counter DK's healing pretty well too. And traps are pretty good too. Like if you can just use a trap as soon as DK uses Transfusion, stop them from being able to heal, then follow up with a stun, maybe they don't have a trinket. Or if they go for a Lichborn or something, you back out, feign death, maybe land yourself a camo, reset somehow. Use Steel Trap. It's Steel Trap, right? Not Iron Trap, it's Steel Trap. Big one like a bear trap thing. I think it's Steel Trap. To root the DK. Tar Trap too. I don't know, we'll have to see like a really good play again. Matasawa is gonna go first. Alrighty. We're gonna try it again, boys. We're gonna get us Alaska and Night Raven. Last two teams ready and standing for the last duel of the evening. And then I'm gonna go get some food, dude. It's pizza time. It's pizza night, so I'm gonna get myself some pizza, relax, hang out, and mostly we'll spend most of the day working on a video. It's nice having like a schedule of videos I want to work on for the day, you know what I mean? The Twitch. Do you have an insane gear to make sub work for PvE? Do you need to have, basically, yeah, that's the one spec that needs gear to do well. Because, and even if you do have the gear, and if you play perfectly, you'll still be behind in the specs in most cases, unless the rest of the team is doing something incredibly wrong. Yeah, Sub-Rogue is one of the specs that's actually super undervalued in PvE. PvP, they're pretty good. They still need gear in PvP to work. But at CC, like, lets them play. They don't need the best damage in the world. They don't have good damage, though. But yeah, in PvE, they're way behind the other two specs. Like, usually some specs are a little bit behind. This one's way behind. You know what I mean? Like, Survival's in a better position for PvE than Sub, in comparison. We got ourselves Vital on Team Blue with Dan as a Rogue, Max as a Fury Warrior. We also got Prox as a Fury Warrior. Then we got to play last time. And Shadow versus Team Red with Candy. We got ourselves Fortune, Judo, Master, Luki, Bob, and Mata Sao. Try and make Marksman work yet again. Going up versus Max. Or Mahalin is the Russian word, but we'll call him Max. Just for the sake of easiness. It's going to be opener by Matt. Trying to see if he can get himself a bit of a setup. Double leap coming in for Max though. What was that double leap? I think he's lagging maybe a little bit. Rapid fire coming out for Matt though is going to go for a trinket off of that Stormbolt. There's going to be Fear to get the pet and the Hunter trembling in place. The pet is running away. It's going to be quite a root onto Max, but he's going to go for a Blaze Storm just not to get rooted. The slows are quite huge. The Max does have the pet to heal off of, and Matt also having to peel the pet back, having to lure the pet back. Is going to go for that aim shot setup right now while Max is at a distance. Does not have a charge or anything. Could maybe hit him with a rapid fire as he gets around the corner. Does not hit him with a rapid fire. Max having to go for huge healing somehow. Wait, how did Max heal? Did he go for Warlock Hellstone or something? Because he took a lot of the damage and he just healed. Did he use Crucible's defensive or something? Stormbolt onto Matasa. Is going to go for a little bit of a pet sack right now. Letting the pet attack. Max for a little bit. Is going to go for a scatter shot. Does have the pet to heal off of for quite a bit. Rapid fire is going to connect, but it's not going to do the most of the damage. Matt having pretty good pet control. Keeping the pet on the side. Just letting the pet stay away. Tricky coming out from Max is going to be Turtle Shell from Matasa as he does get attacked by Max. Needs to find a way to get away from the guy. Max does get hit with a binding shot. Cannot really go anywhere. Matt might have an opportunity for him to go for a full... he does go for a full camo. Is he playing adaptation by any chance? Is Manasa playing adapt? He might... I don't think he is, but it looks like his trinket is coming back out. Sometimes you can't really see the cooldown on the trinket. Maybe it's another defensive or offensive for somebody else. Maybe not. This is going to be scatter shot onto Max. He barely takes any damage though, dude. Being a full ironclad plated warrior. Oh, he does have Crucible, so he does heal himself with Crucibles. And Max is going to be behind the pillar hitting the pet. For Matasaw, I don't know how he's going to come back, man. I don't know how he's going to come back out of here. He needs to get some huge damage onto Max, but him being plate, all that physical damage was very little damage. Matt taking a bit of damage. Max is going to fear him while he's mid-disengage. He's just going to get some cooldown set up and running while Matt is up in air. It's going to be a Blaze Storm to counter the binding shot. Matasaw trying to see if he can get away from Max. This is going to be a freezing trap to stop him in place for a second, but he's going to have to hit him with a slow rapid fire to follow. Mallet rolling into Matissa. He might be able to maybe feign death it if he has the honor talent in order to feign death to refresh or take away all the dots. Max going for a big of a leap. Matissa into another leap right after, just leaping around. I guess he's maybe trying to get away, or maybe there's any kind of traps around the corner. He's just trying to leap around them. Matissa does get to trinket out of that short CC into a feign death for a second. Camera to follow. Almost gets out with the first camera. Max though was aware of the feigned death. He saw right through it. Freezing trap, stopping him in place. Wait, Matt's actually dead? Is he actually dead? He's actually dead. Unlucky. Max taking out the marksman huntership god. Which will tell you where marksmen are right now. Hopefully marksmen have an easier time next batch, man. Maybe. With more gear, maybe they might be able to come back. I know they used to be really, really good. Well, at least in PvE. Never really in PvP. In BGs, I think they're really good. In arenas, it's interesting. It's going to be a grip weapon for Judo, as he's just trying to get some more pressure onto Max. Is Max even going to go down to Judo, taking quite a bit of damage? Judo, though, hasn't made too much of a headway. Is going to be an in-cap. Does get the charge. Zerkers onto Judo. Bladestorm and passes a ring of peace by his own ring. You know, spinning as a ring. Ring of war. He's going to go for Crucible, self-heals himself. Max is actually looking pretty confident when it comes to dealing with a monk right now, though. Touch of Death is going to apply. It's going to be a big Fist of Fury. Max better be aware of the health he has. This is going to get himself somehow massive healing. There's actually full on health as he takes damage from the Touch of Death. But he did go for his own Rage Regeneration. That is a damage reduction for 20%, but also a massive amount of healing that he did have the image attacking from. Fortune, get back to the arena. What are you doing, my guy? Get back. I know you're bored. You want to get out, you want to play, but sit tight, my guy. Sit tight. Max goes for a double leap. I guess he was waiting for Judo to go around the corner. He's like, I know he's going to go. I'm going to wait for my leap. I have double leap. So once you leap, you use one leap. You have a moment to use it again. But as long, if you don't leap again, you lose it. So it's not like actually a double leap. It's like you leap, it takes off the cooldown for 90 seconds. You can leap again. It's like a secondary leap. So I guess he was waiting for Judo to go around the corner. That's what he was trying to do to get mobility. But he did not get it. Judo, though, should have a pretty good position. We are going to see ourselves going into dampening. Mallet rolling into Judo. Will Max be able to really do something off of that Mallet? Does he get a charge? He does get an intercept with Judo, and Judo took quite a bit of damage. Is going to reverse some of that Mallet back to Max. Not like it really mattered for him. He wasn't the one taking the most amount of damage there. But for Judo, I think the pillar that he has, the port, the disarm, the stun with the leg sweep might be too much for Max to deal with. But we'll see. Fear off of that Fist of Fury. So Max is able to actually get some damage onto Judo. Might be able to get himself a good setup. That on-road chicken is doing huge work for the guy, man. 3% dampener right now. Max got himself some cooldowns rolling. Judo is going to try to see if he can bail away from it. Is going to use a leap again, trying to see if he can just leap on top of Judo to stay on top of the guy. Stormball does get Judo to 50% health, forcing out a Karma. And Max is going to have to wait away from that Karma. He does go for a Bloodthirst while in Karma, in case he gets him with a slow, because Bloodthirst will do very little damage. It'll give a heal for Max. It might enrage him, but also will clear any slows as long as he has the auto talent that lets him do that, which he does. Most warriors should run that. It's gonna be Panda Rachel coming out onto Judo. Massive Touch of Death. Max is gonna go for a Strongbolt on a Judo, not letting the Touch of Death ramp up in damage. Lexi coming out for Judo Master right after with the Fist of Fury, trying to min-max the damage onto Max, and Max does have a disarm onto himself. He does have Enrage Regeneration, but he's not able to really get any value out of Enrage Regeneration. Does he get any at all? He didn't even get to swap to one of the images to get any Rage Regeneration healing. Warlock Hellstone does come out. Is going to get a charge, a heal off of Judo, though. He might be able to come back from the duel that he's been in. Because he's been kind of behind on this duel. Might be able to come back. 6 minutes in, 10% dampening. Stormbolt coming out from Max. Might have been a little bit early here. As he's trying to approach Judo. Does he have any more gusto in him? Does he have any more gas in the tank? He does get himself continuing. He does have plenty of heals though still. He does have Crucible. He's able to get his Bloodthirst consistently. And the Honor Trinket is doing quite work for him. But Disarm might be a perfect opportunity for Judo to really get some damage in. He does have the images rolling too. Mag just walks way out of those images. Is he going to go for the double leap? Maybe catching up to Judo while he's going for a heal might be the priority here. But the mobility of a monk in the corners for the pillars are just... is in such an advantage for Judo, especially this middle one. Especially the pillar with the big cat on top of it. One side is longer, the other side is shorter. It forces Max to, take longer to get around the pillar. So generally, if he positions his ports right, he might be able to port to the pillar, to a side of the pillar that'll make it harder for Max to get to him compared to those other pillars, which are fairly small. Max got hit with a leg sweep, trinkets out of it. Judo's at 50% health. No Zerka's rage for that incap though. Oh my goodness. And Judo using dragon kicks just to get the hell out of there. And that's going to be Max going for the big leaps just to catch up to Judo. Hitting him with the melee. He could reflect the melee back, and Max right here actually is going to go for a little bit of Fist of Fury. Does go to reflect the melee back, and Max's Storm Bolts Judo. He's going to go for a trinket out of it. That's going to be Karma right after. Max, if he can survive this Karma for a little bit, goes for the Panda Racial just to get access to see onto Judo. Going to get a charge heal to follow. That Karma did almost nothing. Wall coming out for Judo. Try to see to stay on to Max. Max is going to get hit with the touch of death into a disarm. Trying to go for slows into Judo. Trying to get away from the Fist of Fury as best as he can. Is going to get ticked by a touch of death. It's going to have to go for a bit of a Blaze Storm. Judo is going to put a ring on the guy and then port way out. Jesus, dude, these ports by Monk is max ranging those ports every time to give him as much time as possible. Judo is literally max ranging those ports to give himself as much time as possible to get as many Vivify so he can get back in there, dude. If only he didn't have that range on those ports, he wouldn't be able to do this at all. It's just so disgusting how good it is, dude, for the monks. It's just insanely unfair sometimes. It's going to be Stormbolt Max finally able to get some damage on Judo. But he's going to have a port regardless either way, dude. Just 9 seconds, he's going to port out. Max not looking all that good, actually. He's kind of low in health. Just coming out into Max. He's trying to get himself as much defense as possible. Judo not going for Fist of Fury just yet. But as Max have a fear, he does have a fear. He's going to get himself a charge heal, but still super low in health. Still trying to recover. Still very, very close. If Judo, a big port coming out. Max going for a big old leap. Maybe a second leap right after. Does not get the second leap. And might just have to mount up or something. Judo getting those Vivifies back to back, though. Stormbolt and Judo. He should have a trinket for the next Stormbolt, I believe. Might be able to. Fist of Fury is coming out. Max is going to Blaze Storm out of it. Doesn't really have a lot of ways to get rid of that Fist of Fury. It looks like Max just might be going down, and Judo does take him out. Max did put up quite a bit of damage, quite a good fight against Judo, but couldn't quite take him down. And Proc is going to be up next. Maybe this Fury will have an easier time. Karma available for Judo Master. It's going to be disarm onto Proc right now. Doesn't want to go anywhere. He does get a reflect rolling a little bit early. I don't really know what he could reflect against Judo. That's going to be Karma right after. Judo's going to take quite a bit of healing there. Do quite a bit of damage to Proc as well. He's going to get a charge into a Bloodthirst. Try to get an intercept onto Judo. Should probably be turning around and handle those images while that Enraged Regeneration is up. Fear onto Judo Master right now. Does he go for a stun? Going to be a stun out of Judo. Trinkets out of it. Judo's still fairly low. Stormbolt does have a trinket for us. That's a perfect opportunity for his trinket. He's going to get a Fist of Fury. Proc does go for Reflect. But I don't really know what else he can really do. Reflect doesn't even do anything against it. I mean, I guess he could reflect that Chi Wave. So it could be a healing Chi Wave. But that's really about it. Because Judo, I don't think even Judo runs melee or anything like that. He's run for full build for damage and extra health. And Brock is going to walk up next to Max. I think he was maybe trying to bow to him or something. At least by the looks of it. Disarm into Brock. He does go for a reflect. Again, not electrical effect against a monk into Fist of Fury. Stormbolting him to stop the Fist of Fury for a second. But Brock is super low in health. 35% dampening. Judo going for Whirling Dragon Punch. Short charge of Brock, but that blackout kick does it. Did Fortune walk up to spit on the guy or something? I don't know what he did. He might have actually walked up and decided to spit. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Dennis is going to be up next. Oh my god, this duel has been going so long and it's only 2 people that they got through. No, wait, 3. Matt also was there. But it was Max and Matt. Then Judo and Max, which felt like forever. And then Proc, done dirty. But it's going to be Den right now. And this is where Judo's actually starting to get aggressive with this guy. He's not trying to run away from Den. He's actually trying to stay on top of the guy. Vanish coming out. Judo, is he going to be able to reverse a melee? He was able to reverse a portion of a melee, but a good portion of the maledict was still on and blind on the Judo right now. Does he have a trinket to follow up here? If Den doesn't break his own blind or saps early, he might be able to get a good setup onto Judo. Might be able to. We'll see though. We'll see. Is he going for full setup? Sap. Let's go for Garo. Does it break? If he karmas, that's it, man. If he karmas, that's it. Cheap shot. Clean. Trinkets out of it. With instant karma. Did have a trinket available. Den is in a bad spot. Does have evasion. That touch of death is still going to hit him, though. And Judo's looking to back up and recover. Den doesn't really let him go anywhere at all. Fist of Furies are going to lock Den out. Touch of death ticking down on him for quite a bit. Is going to go for a little bit extra damage of his own. Kidney shot onto Judo. It is going to be short, though. I guess he tried to cheap shot him earlier. That's going to be Lexu by Judo, but the dots do take down, and down Judo goes. Kenny up next for Team Red as a Frost Mage. Interesting. We'll see if we'll be able to do anything here versus Den. I think he might as well go pick up the eyes. Den is just going to want to buy himself as much time as possible. Is swap to Deadly Poison of 45% dampening. Might not be a bad idea, honestly. Just to go for as much damage as possible. Did Fortune flex his mount? Maybe I think that's what Fortune is doing. He keeps running out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, Fortune, stop. We get it. You got yourself a nice new mount. Stop. We get it. It just confuses everybody else when you're running out randomly in the open. It's like, we get it the first time around, but it's like he keeps doing it every single time. Den versus Kenny. I think Den got it, dude. Unless Kenny can somehow turn it around, the dot damage for Den is going to be huge. And this Den, yeah, Den is actually just going to wait it out the whole time. This has been some of the last duels on the EU have been honestly the longest, boys. These have been some of the longest duels. I'm literally getting antsy just watching these. It's just like people are taking their time, and it's just like, we get it. You're trying to get a full reheal. But it's just like, it's taking so long. It's taking so long. Sap onto Kenny. Den is finally going to be able to maybe open up on the guy. It's going to be Garrod into a cheap shot. Try to see if he can maybe get a root onto Den, but he just followed up Garrod instantly into a cheap shot before Kenny was able to walk out. It is going to try to see if he can let the Temporal do some work. Den tried to think to go for a Shadow Step Kidney. He did exactly that. Going to get hit with the root for a second. Kenny tried to heal through the Crucibles. Mally is going to be rolling hard on him. Polymorph onto Den for a second. Can Kenny turn this around? He's super behind though. South is really in a bad condition. Going to get yet another root onto Den for a second. Maybe get him into more slows, but the sprint is going to keep him moving for a moment. Might have to ice block here a little bit early. Blink it back towards his own ice orb, but it's not going to happen. Frozen orb does not really do a lot against Den. That's going to be Lucky Bob as a Feral up next. Den does not have any dots. Lucky Bob could AoE randomly. Walk next to him. Sap is going to be coming out for Den. Is he going to have a blind for this Feral this time? If he has a blind, he actually might be able to do it, man. Sap going to be Garrod. Nope, not go Road. Just going to get a Rupture there instead. Garrod to follow right after. Lucky Bob getting hit with a kidney shot. Den maybe goes for more dots. Lucky Bob does get a leap. Den couldn't get the line of sight early enough. Cloaker Shot is coming out as the thorns are up. And I think Den might have gotten hit by Mally by Lucky Bob, but it did have a cloak a little bit early. That was evasion as well. That was a really early evasion as well. So Lucky Bob is at least going to be able to take down all those dots. All the poison dots at least. And actually fully clean. So Den is going to be able to go again. Lucky Bob does have a trinket. If Den goes for a very, very clean setup, Trinket coming out for Lucky Bob way early. It's going to be kidney shot onto Lucky Bob. Could go maybe for a blind right after. Bash onto Den. Does he have a blind? Could be really bad if he doesn't have a blind at this point. Does go for a bit of a heal blind to Lucky Bob. If he can get himself a full reset up here, is he even going to be up DR on saps by now? Is he going to be on DR? Full saps. So probably full stuns as well. As long as Den doesn't take too much damage from Lucky Bob now, and every time he can slink away behind Pillar for resets, he might be in a good spot. Getting dots up and running, cheap shot into maybe Envenom, kidney shot. Might want to go behind the Pillar. No Vendetta coming out immediately. Lucky Bob goes for Thorns. Vendetta cheap shot for Den, and that's going to be a big old Envenom for Den. Wharton looking to maybe stop this rogue before he catches a reset in cap to follow. Does have a Trinket. Trinket's out a little bit early into Lex with Fists of Fury. Fortune trying to take him out. Why he's got it. Doesn't have any defenses left. All he can really do is Phantom Knights. Touch of Death coming out for Fortune. Quite a big CD right now. That's going to get a Mallet roll into Fortune. Touch of Death. Does it hit? He does. And down goes Vinruki. Next up is going to be a Vital as a Destro or Shadow as a Shadow Priest. That's going to be quite tough. I don't really know if quite tough for the casters. I don't know if Fortune should have that much hard time with them. Shawara's getting booped around. Actually, the Vital went for a port as well. Got a little bit of a boop halfway through. Trying to land a fear onto Fortune. He's going to bail out of it immediately. Into Vivify spams back to back. Into a wall as well. Just try to cycle through cooldowns. He is at 70% damage, so I guess any damage that Vital does to him could be bad. Fear onto Fortune. Chicken side of it. Doesn't get to do anything against that Chaos Bolt, but I think he might have been able to karma the Chaos Bolt. Maybe not. Vital actually has so much pressure into Fortune. Fear spams are coming out. Could get a big old Chaos Bolt to follow Fear again. He does get himself a little bit of a defensive though. He does go for a little bit of that diffuse magic shot of Fury into a Chaos Bolt. Doesn't have a trinket for it with a Crucible Raptor. Doesn't have karma, and down he goes. I'm actually surprised that it went like that. I guess Fortune might have popped defensive maybe a little bit early, but Judo went for a 5 Oh, I thought it was five people. 5 million damage though. Oh my god. That's so much damage on 2 people. Holy crap. Alrighty, boys. I think that's gonna be it for us. Bukake Fortune. He did pretty well. He actually thought that was Fortune's game. Maybe Fortune went for too much damage, too much pressure for the rogue, and is maybe hoping that okay, I'm gonna touch a death rogue. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of abilities at him, and then whatever the next caster is, I'm just gonna land a stun him and wait long enough. But Beidel got a nice positional. And that was it, man. You get that Hawaiian pizza, dude? Hell yeah, Davey. Hell yeah, my man. Wanna QS21? Nah, I'm good for now. Yo, Katney, I love you, guy, but so many of these last few duels on the EU have been so long. It's 7:43, my guy. I gotta get a break eventually, my man. I gotta get some food myself eventually, but we got 100 duels for EU. Hopefully we'll come back with 100 duels for NA tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see all you boys tomorrow for NA duels. Alrighty? Peace. Morning,